Chapter 1004. Ancient trees, weeds, and strange flowers could be seen everywhere. The roars of beasts could be heard, and from time to time, poisonous creatures would surge out. This was the terrifying part of the wilderness. In the transcendent world, large areas were considered wilderness. Spirit, demons, and vicious beasts occupied these places. The Yang family group used 3 days to cross a small part of the wilderness. In 2 days, they encountered dozens of waves of spirit demons and vicious beasts. Fortunately, they managed to shake them off. Only then did the Yang family members understand what the trial of death was. They had to be alert at all times. The moment they relaxed, they could lose their lives. Yang Wu and the others had already learned how to work as a team. Those who were not injured opened the path, while those who were injured stayed behind to recover. Once their injuries were more or less healed, they began to replace those in front to open the path. Not only did they improve their fighting strength, but they also formed true friendships. They were originally a family, and were even related by blood. However, they usually cultivated separately and had very little time to communicate with each other, and even less time to share trials and tribulations together. This training undoubtedly created an environment for them and strengthened their relationship. The Yang family was originally an extremely united family. These years of internal strife and external suppression caused their situation to deteriorate. The younger generation was even worse. The 10 people in front of them were the future pillars of the Yang family. They were even the reserve forces of the saints. If they could strengthen their friendship and unite as one, it would greatly benefit the Yang family in the future. Yang Wu did not think too far into the future. He only hoped that they could become stronger. Only by becoming stronger could they have the power to protect themselves. Only by protecting their lives could they think of other things. Yang Wu and the others had just slaughtered a wave of vicious beasts. They only took the beast cores and some key parts. They did not take anything else. Everything was to save time on the road. At this time, Yang Jinlong and the silver-patterned turtle asked Yang Wu to split up. "Father, we want to find our own opportunities here. We won't go with you," Yang Jinlong said to Yang Wu. At this time, he had transformed into a handsome youth. He looked at Yang Wu with a shy expression, as if he was embarrassed to make such a request. Yang Wu patted Yang Jinlong's shoulder and said, "Son, are you sure you want to part ways with your father here?" Yang Jinlong nodded seriously and said, "Yes, I feel that we should be able to find something that belongs to us here. We want to challenge the demon race's green demon ranking." The demon race's green demon ranking was the same as the human race's dragon phoenix ranking. "Little Silver, have you decided as well?" Yang Wu turned to look at the silver-patterned turtle. The silver-patterned tortoise didn't look good in his human form. He was a hunchbacked young man with scales on his face. He looked a little ugly and ferocious. He nodded and said, "I don't want to be a burden to my lord." "Okay, continue with your decision. Here are some demon cores for you. You are still weak, so it won't be too late to find your own opportunities after you increase your cultivation level. It doesn't matter if you get the qualifications or not. The most important thing is to stay alive," Yang Wu said seriously to the two of them. Then, Yang Wu gave a dragon whisker to Yang Jinlong. This was originally a material he wanted to refine a saint weapon. Now, for Yang Jinlong's safety, he gave it to him. Yang Jinlong already had many dragon items on him: dragon marrow liquid, dragon bones, dragon scales, and dragon whiskers. Any one of them was enough to make many spirit demons jealous. Yang Jinlong was very touched. He swore that he would definitely transform into a true dragon and live up to his father's expectations. Yang Wu also gave the silver-patterned turtle a few high-level demon cores. The silver-patterned turtle didn't refuse and accepted them all. Just like that, they separated from Yang Wu. Yang Wu looked at the two of them leaving and felt a little sad. He sighed softly. These little guys are starting to grow up. In fact, he was only in his early 20s, but he sighed with emotion that only 60-years-old people could have. Young Manmi quietly came to his side. A ray of sunlight quietly shone on her through the gap, making her look as charming as a goddess. Her chest wasn't completely covered, revealing a small part of her snow-white skin. It was so dazzling that it could blind people. When Yang Wu turned his face, he just happened to see that bottomless crack. He had an urge to sink in. Young Mammy leaned against him and said softly, "Young clan leader, do you really not like me? Why do you ask?" Yang Wu struggled to look away and asked, "That girl loves you a lot, but you still don't put her in your eyes." "I don't know," Young Mammy said softly. Young Mammy had always been confident in her appearance. Otherwise, she wouldn't have received the title of heartthrob. No matter if it was in the clan or outside, all the men who saw her went crazy for her. In the Yang clan, there were a few people who were interested in her, but she never took them to heart. After she was determined to have the pulse-replenishing body, her fate had already been arranged. She had to find someone in the clan to marry. She wasn't willing to find an ordinary man to marry. Only when Yang Wu appeared did her heart open. Only this kind of man was worthy of her. However, now was her own wishful thinking. Yang Wu didn't seem to have any interest in her. Taking advantage of the break, she couldn't help but ask Yang Wu. She was afraid that she would follow in Tang Xiaohan's footsteps. When a man became ruthless, which woman wouldn't be afraid? Yang Wu revealed a bitter smile and said, "Do you want to hear the story between me and her? If you're willing to tell me, of course I'm willing to listen." Young Manmi said with an expression that said she couldn't ask for anything more. Thus, Yang Wu simply told the story between him and Tang Xiaohan. In reality, there wasn't much of a dramatic process between them. They just got along quite well. It wasn't until the shocking change in the Imperial Palace that both of their lives were completely changed. "Actually, she's as beautiful as you. Anyone would be moved by her. However, I already have a wife, and there are many women by my side. I don't want her to waste time by my side. Moreover, our Yang clan and Mount Amei don't get along. This is a fact that everyone knows. It's impossible between me and her, so I might as well cut off her fantasies." Yang Wu confided. Young Mammy suddenly understood. She muttered to herself for a moment and said, "This seems to be too cruel to her. Aren't you afraid that her love will turn into hate? What can I do? In the future, she and I probably won't meet again." Yang Wu spread out his hands and said, although the Yang clan and Mount Amei were close neighbors, in reality, the bases of the two powers were very far apart. Even if one deliberately looked for someone, it might not be easy to find them. Yang Wu didn't think that he and Tang Xiaohan would have any interactions in the future. However, Yang Mammy didn't think so. If a woman hated a man, she would become very scary. You really have a wife?" Yang Mammy asked in a small voice. "Yes, I do. She's the saint of Purple Cloud Palace," Yang Wu openly admitted. His face even revealed a happy expression. In the near future, he would definitely step into Purple Cloud Palace and openly marry you again. Young Mammy felt a bit of pain in her heart. Yes, it was a bit painful. Fortunately, it was still within the range that she could bear. Since I was young, the clan elder told me that I must marry someone from the clan for the rest of my life. No matter who it is, I can't marry outside the clan. Therefore, in this life, I am destined to not be able to escape the shackles of the clan. I have already recognized the reality. There are many girls in the clan who have found their own happiness in the clan. I feel that I can also do it. In these few decades, I have seen many outstanding young people in the clan, like the clan elder, like Tian Lin. All of them are not bad. But looking at them, I can only see them as big brothers. Those who are younger than me, their talents are not as good as mine, and I have no interest in those little brats. Only when you have a strong rise did I realize that little brats can also be so charming. I feel that my destined son is you. I have the body of reconstructed meridians. I will definitely be able to give birth to the strongest offspring for you. Even if you already have a wife, I don't mind being your concubine. Anyway, the clan elder told me to let go of everything to pursue you. Even if you say that I am a shameless woman, you must not give me a chance. Once there is a chance, I will give birth to a monkey for you." Yang Manmi stared at Yang Wu as she declared in a domineering manner. She had suppressed the words in her heart for a long time. She was incomparably happy. After Yang Wu heard this, he was completely dumbfounded. He felt that this world was too crazy. How could a woman be so daring? Could it be that she was really a saint? Could it be that she had no desires? Was she not afraid that he would punish her in this desolate land? After a long while, he declared, "Let's continue on our way." He felt that giving birth to a monkey was a huge matter. He was still a youth, so he would think about it in a few years. Not long after, they encountered a ghost forest. Ghost trees were a common type of evil plant species. They liked to eat living creatures, and there were many dried-up corpses hanging on their branches. Their ranks were not very high, but a large ghost forest was enough to give people a headache. There were even some ghosts attached to the ghost trees, sending out soul attacks that were hard to defend against. These ghosts were called charming spirits. They were not corporeal, but rather a mass of souls. They constantly floated between heaven and earth, letting out woo-woo-woo sounds. They were similar to ghosts, but each of them had their own consciousness. When they cooperated with the ghost trees, they were extremely powerful. Even a saint would fall for it if they were not careful. The ghost trees constantly sent out branches to attack Yang Wu's group. The charming spirits used their soul attacks to confuse Yang Wu's group, causing them to fall into an illusion or fall unconscious. At the beginning, Yang Wu did not warn them, seeing how they would deal with it. There were still a few people from the Yang family who fell for the charming spirits trap, and some were even captured by the ghost trees. Fortunately, Yang Tianlin, the Qilin's son, was not ordinary. He cultivated the azure battle qi, which was extremely compatible with the wood profound qi. He was able to resist the ghost trees and the charming spirit soul attacks. He used a stunning battle skill to kill 10 ghost trees, as well as a few charming spirits, saving his companions from the Yang family. To destroy the ghost trees, the key is to cut their roots. Chapter 1005. The ghost trees were like a forest, and the charming spirits were everywhere. This was a haunted forest. However, Yang Wu's group was able to pass through this place easily. A large part of the reason was because of Yang Tianlin's existence. He knew where the ghost tree's weakness was and where the charming spirit's weakness was. He taught the rest of the Yang family how to kill these ghost trees and charming spirits. Yang Tianlin was worthy of being the Yang family's hidden evildoer for many years. He also had some skills. If it wasn't for Yang Wu's existence, he would be the leader without a doubt. Yang Tianlin's attacks were simple and precise, often able to kill with a single strike. Moreover, he was still collecting the roots of the ghost tree. Although the roots contained ghost qi, the essence of the plants was a great supplement to the azure lineage. Yang Wu didn't attack, but something flew out of his body. It was the sacred mandala flower. No one could sense its existence. She was an evil plant, and so were the ghost trees. They were a supplement to her. She and Yang Wu left, and she devoured many places that the Yang family had neglected. Yang Wu asked, "You just devoured a water snake vine not long ago. Did your strength increase?" The water snake vine was a sacred item, and it contained even more energy essence. "Of course, if you could form an equal contract with me, I would have reached mid-level saint," the flower replied. "Haha, don't think about it for now." Yang Wu smiled faintly. The flower didn't dwell on this topic with Yang Wu. Wherever it went, large numbers of ghost trees withered and died. They didn't even have a chance to escape. The Yang family didn't notice this shocking situation. At the same time, Yang Wu tried to use the Soul Control Sutra to absorb the soul power of the charming spirits he defeated. Charming spirits were natural souls, and they were creatures that replenished souls. When he channeled the Soul Mastery Sutra, the scattered soul force surged toward him and entered his divine court Tao flower, nourishing it bit by bit. "It's really effective," Yang Wu thought to himself. Yang Wu tried many times and proved that he could absorb the soul power. He said to everyone present, "The soul power of the charming spirits can be absorbed. Why don't you try and see if you can strengthen your soul power?" Everyone turned back to look at Yang Wu, their eyes revealing a strange look. Yang Yifan opened his mouth. "Young clan leader, you are an alchemist and possess a high-level cultivation method for cultivating the soul. Our Yang clan does not." Yang Chenlong added, "Soul techniques are extremely precious. Our Yang clan only has a heaven-grade soul technique. After reaching the dragon transformation realm, it doesn't have much meaning anymore." Why don't young clan leader impart us a soul cultivation technique? Someone boldly suggested. How can soul techniques be randomly passed down? Those are all secrets that cannot be passed down. Someone reprimanded. Yang Wu realized that his question was too abrupt. He pondered for a moment before saying, I can teach you a soul technique, but I can only teach you a part of it. It won't be a problem to help you strengthen your soul, but you have to swear that you won't teach it to anyone else. Everyone's eyes instantly lit up. Young Man Fan said, forget it. Young clan leader, you have done enough for us. Soul techniques are extremely important, so you can't casually teach it to anyone else. She wholeheartedly supported Yang Wu, so she naturally didn't wish for Yang Wu's secret technique to be learned by others. What if someone had evil intentions? Yang Wu waved his hand and said, as long as you all swear an oath, I can teach it to you all. Yang Wu wasn't afraid of others teaching it to others. In any case, he would only teach a third of it. The Soul Control Heart Sutra was different from other soul cultivation methods. It was a top-grade soul cultivation method. Even if it was a third of it, it was enough for everyone present to benefit greatly. Since he was already the young clan leader, he felt that it was necessary to lead everyone to become stronger. Other than Yang Tianlin, everyone present swore that they wouldn't teach the cultivation method that Yang Wu taught them. Yang Tianlin was an arrogant person. He didn't want to become Yang Wu's subordinate. In his heart, he still wanted to prove himself through the battle between dragons and phoenixes and quickly reach the Star Rune realm. Only then could he suppress Yang Wu. Become a saint as soon as possible, Yang Tianlin secretly said in his heart. The difference between a small saint and a true saint was like heaven and earth. Some people wouldn't be able to cross this hurdle in their entire lives. Some people, by chance, easily stepped through that door and became a dragon that rode the wind to the 9 heavens, becoming a person above others. Yang Tianlin admitted that he wasn't as good as Yang Wu right now. But once he became a saint, he was confident that he could surpass Yang Wu. Surpassing Yang Wu was only one of his small goals. He had an even bigger goal. The Jade Moon realm was his ultimate goal. It had to be said that Yang Tianlin was an extremely ambitious person. Yang Wu didn't force Yang Tianlin. He could feel a different light in the other's eyes. Perhaps he could become an overlord in the future. No matter what, it was fine as long as they were a family. If there was division or infighting, then don't blame him for being rude. After Yang Wu imparted 1/3 of the Soul Control Sutra, he also imparted some of the Yang clan's union techniques and some cultivation battle techniques. These were all his gains after awakening his bloodline. In addition, he also received the consciousness of the Yang clan's ancestors in the God of War Pagoda. It wouldn't be difficult for him to train the people of the Black Tortoise bloodline. Yang Yifun, Yang Manmi, and the others humbly accepted Yang Wu's teachings. This was very important to their future growth. Yang Wu and the others stayed in this ghostly forest for 7 days. During these 7 days, everyone had gained a lot. Everyone was able to kill charming spirits and absorb their soul power. Their souls were strengthened, which was very important to them. If any martial artist wanted to increase their cultivation level, besides accumulating enough energy in their dantian, their soul power also had to be compatible. This made it easier to break through. Yang Wu also found a soul spring here. There were many charming spirits guarding it. Moreover, there were charming spirits that had reached the saint realm and developed intelligence. They had the ability to control the souls of living creatures. They weren't any weaker than the illusory demon. Yang Wu had the blue enchantress, which was a saint flame. It was the nemesis of these evil beings. Even a saint-level charming spirit couldn't withstand its burning. The saint-level charming spirit fled in fear. Yang Wu didn't want to let it go. His battle soul rushed out of the divine court Dao flower and used pure soul power to suppress this charming spirit. When Yang Wu absorbed the saint-level charming spirit's soul power, the divine court Dao flower grew stronger. His soul power increased tremendously. He couldn't help but sigh. If I had the soul-suppressing gourd with me, I could collect all the charming spirits here. It would definitely help my soul become stronger. Yang Wu suppressed this impulse. He collected the soul spring and gave everyone a share. The soul flowers and soul grass were also taken by him. The others didn't take a single one. After all, Yang Wu had already taught them the Soul Control Heart Sutra. They were already indebted to him. If he gave them the soul flowers and soul grass, they wouldn't be able to accept it. Yang Wu didn't bicker with them. He took them all. He was an alchemist. These herbs could only be used to their fullest potential in his hands. After taking care of the ghost forest, Yang Wu and the others continued on their way at full speed. Along the way, they encountered another group of ferocious beasts. This time, there were 3,000 of them. However, the Yang clan members were no longer afraid of these ferocious beasts. Under Lu Ji's command, they formed a formation and charged forward. This formation had been set up by Lu Ji, with Yang Yifan, Yang Mami, and a few others as the core, and the others as support. It had both attack and defense. It was very powerful. With the power of this formation, everyone's fighting power was maximized. They killed the beasts until they were completely defeated. Everyone's gaze towards Lu Ji changed as they exclaimed in their hearts, "Young Patriarch's imperial military advisor is really strong." Yang Wu was proud of Lu Ji. With such an advisor, he wouldn't have to worry about anything in the future. At this time, he thought of another advisor, Peng Yuan. Peng Yuan was also a resourceful person. It was just that he was a little ugly. His cultivation talent was also inferior to Lu Ji's. He had also been brought to the transcendent world with Xue Ji and the others. He was clearly not used to it and became very low-key. Other than reading various books about the transcendent world every day, he didn't interact much with others. Yang Wu had a short conversation with him. He said, "Only by understanding everything about the transcendent world can I help you in the future. My lord, please don't worry about me for now." Just like this, Yang Wu let Peng Yuan do whatever he wanted. In any case, he left some cultivation resources for Peng Yuan. He also told the clansmen to take care of Peng Yuan. As for whether Peng Yuan could pull himself together, it would depend on his luck. With Lu Ji in front, Peng Yuan's presence was much weaker. On the 15th day, Yang Wu's group finally passed through this large wasteland and stepped into the border of northern Hubei. Everyone in their group was injured. The most miserable one had one of his arms bitten off by a vicious beast. He almost died. Fortunately, he was able to stand up again under Yang Wu's care. He didn't feel depressed because he lost an arm. Instead, he completely accepted life and death. His strength suddenly rose from the high-level dragon transformation realm to the top-level dragon transformation realm. This Yang family member was called Yang Li. Yang Wu didn't expect Yang Li's willpower to be so impressive. He wanted to train him for a while before giving him a bone-growing pill. Now that he had a broken arm, he could even reach a higher level. This stimulated the others to cultivate as if their lives depended on it. In a short 15 days, everyone had an incomparably sharp aura. No matter who met them, they would feel a sense of fear before the battle. The killing intent on their bodies was too thick. Yang Wu had also improved by quite a bit. His opponents were usually the most powerful creatures, and he had gained a lot for fighting with them. There was once when he encountered 2 saint-level creatures at the same time, and he was almost beaten to a pulp. At the crucial moment, he had to use all of his trump cards, and only then did he win with great difficulty. At first, everyone was worried that Yang Wu's injuries were too severe. They were afraid that he would leave behind trouble in the future. After all, the battle between the dragons and the phoenixes was about to begin. It was best to be in peak condition. Only then would they be able to obtain a good ranking. Later, when they saw Yang Wu's abnormal recovery speed, they realized that their worries were unnecessary. "This is a bone-growing pill. Take it." Yang Wu tossed a saint pill to Yang Li. Chapter 1006. Yang Li cried. When his arm was bitten off by the ferocious beast, he felt like he was going to die. If he hadn't cultivated the Soul Control Heart Sutra that Yang Wu had passed on to him, which strengthened his soul and willpower, he really didn't want to live anymore. Losing an arm meant losing half of his combat strength. Moreover, he was a cripple. What was the point of living? In the end, he relied on his last breath and strong willpower to break through to the top level of the dragon transformation realm. During the process of breaking through, he also experienced the feeling of wanting to die. Without an arm, even sitting down was a problem. Fortunately, he had come back from the gates of hell and had become even stronger. Even so, he had almost no fate with the Saint realm in the future. He didn't have the confidence to break through to that realm with a broken arm. Suddenly, Yang Wu took out the bone-forming pill. He couldn't help but cry. This meant that his body could recover again, which meant that he still had a chance to break through to the Saint realm. It also meant that when he broke through, Yang Wu clearly could have helped him but didn't, making him suffer so much for nothing. He wanted to beat Yang Wu up. He could only think about this in his heart. He didn't have the strength. Even if he became a half-saint, he didn't have the guts. When Yang Wu was angry, even Saint realm creatures had to retreat. You must hate me now, right? Why didn't you take out the bone-forming pill earlier? Yang Wu said lightly. Yang Li hurriedly replied, No, I didn't have such thoughts. I only have gratitude in my heart. If I took out the bone-forming pill at the beginning, you might not have broken through to the top level of the dragon transformation realm with your strong willpower. You should know the gains and losses. Only in a desperate situation can you burst out with the strongest willpower. What do you think? Yang Wu asked in return. Yang Li was enlightened. The others were enlightened as well. Everyone present was older than Yang Wu, but their experience wasn't as rich as Yang Wu's. As the saying goes, those who reach the top are the seniors. Yang Wu's strength was above theirs, so they all humbly accepted Yang Wu's teachings. All right, from today onwards, let's go our separate ways. Yang Wu threw out a shocking decision. Young clan leader, what do you mean by this? Someone asked impatiently. I have been with you for quite some time. After this period of training, all of you have improved greatly. It will not be a problem for you to stand on your own. I feel that it is time to split up and head to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Perhaps you will be able to obtain other opportunities along the way. Even if there is no opportunity, you will be able to live a more relaxed life. In short, we will meet again in front of the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Yang Wu said seriously. I agree. Yang Tianlin, who had always been a man of few words, echoed. Yang Tianlin was the strongest in this team, but he was not very sociable. He had long wanted to go on his own. Young clan leader wants us to train by ourselves and not rely on you too much, right? Yang Yifan said. You can say that. Yang Wu nodded. Then how do we divide the jade tablets? Yang Yifan asked again. Now, other than their original few jade tablets, they had also obtained a few jade tablets from Mount Amei. Their group would definitely receive a lot of attention. If they split up, their battle power would be weakened and the danger would be higher. The jade tablets could also be taken away by others. The jade tablets can sense each other. I feel that we should not split up. Otherwise, it will be very dangerous. Yang Mami said. Without waiting for Yang Wu to reply, she continued, It wasn't easy for us to reach this step, so we should unite and rush to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. We all represent the glory of our families, so we can't afford to make any mistakes. Young clan leader, I know you want us to get better training, but there are priorities. Please come with us to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Only then will we be able to protect the Jade Plate and allow more people to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Please think twice. Lu Ji also said from the side, My lord, Miss Mammy is right. This is no longer the time for training. The glory of the clan is more important. You're the strongest. Only when you are with everyone will everyone be safer. The others also agreed. They did not want to be separated from Yang Wu. Yang Wu's strength was obvious to all. Even if he met a saint-level creature, he would not be afraid. With him, they would have more confidence when they reached the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Yang Wu muttered, None of you did anything wrong, but I am the one who dragged you down. He then looked at Yang Tianlin and said, Tianlin, can you take them to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss? You can control the Black Tortoise battleship. Yang Tianlin raised his eyebrows and said, Why do you? Before Yang Tianlin could finish speaking, Yang Wu turned into a bolt of lightning and flew in a certain direction. He shouted, Yang Wu is here. If you want to deal with me, come at me. Yang Wu was very fast. In a few blinks of an eye, he disappeared in front of their eyes. The people of the Yang family finally understood that they were being targeted in secret. Master, Lu Ji and Bai Luoyin cried out in alarm. Their faces were filled with worry. They wanted to follow, but with their strength, how could they help Yongwu? Hurry up and leave. We will protect Yongwu. A saint-level voice sounded. Qing Feng, White Hair Witch, and Liang Rulong were all secretly protecting them, but they did not notice their pursuers. They did not know how Yongwu had discovered them. Suddenly, the sky changed color. During the Battle of the Dragons and Phoenixes, saint-level creatures were not allowed to attack the younger generation's dragon and phoenix seeds. This rule only applied to the human race. If the other races attacked the human race's dragon and phoenix seeds, what could the saint-level creatures do? This time, Yongwu had sensed danger because of the holy mandala flower. Its innate ability was not something other creatures could compare to. When they were about to leave the wilderness, the holy mandala flower began to warn them. Yongwu had no choice but to separate from the Yang clan members. He was afraid that the saint-level creatures would kill him at all costs and affect the others. When Yongwu fled, a creature in the dark chased after him. It was a ghost-like creature. No one could see its figure, and it was difficult to sense its presence. Even Qing Feng and the others could not detect its presence. It was enough to show how terrifying it was. Tisk TSK. You don't need to run. I won't take your life. I only want one thing on you. A sinister voice sounded in Yongwu's ear. Suddenly, a prison appeared in front of Yongwu. A terrifying old ghost tree grew countless branches, sealing off the area. Yongwu could not escape. A ghost-like figure appeared in front of Yongwu, giving Yongwu a fright. This was a fellow that looked like a tree. His limbs were made of vines and branches, and he had a human face. The layers of old skin were frighteningly wrinkled, and his entire body was suffused with mysterious veins. No matter who saw him, they would be shocked. Treant race. Yongwu calmed down and asked, Master, let's leave quickly. This old fellow has designs on me. The holy mandala flower transmitted to Yongwu. Now, how could they leave? This Treant was clearly very powerful. Otherwise, how could it have caught them so quickly? As for Qing Feng, white-haired demoness, and Liang Rulong who were outside, they did not escape either. They had lost track of Yongwu. Damn it, who did it? Qing Feng cried out in vexation. Calm down, you must calm down. Master won't be taken far. He has a life-saving trump card. White-haired demoness' face was full of anxiety. Didn't they say that saints weren't allowed to interfere in the battle between dragons and phoenixes? What's going on now? Liang Rulong stamped his feet. They released their sensing ability and searched for Yongwu again and again. Unfortunately, it was to no avail. They did not know that Yongwu was not far from them. I'm just an old locust tree. Old Treant tried his best to show a kind expression. He was indeed from the Treant race. This race was formed from trees. They had human-like facial features and intelligence, but their bodies were made from the essence of trees. Why are you looking for me? Could it be that you want to take revenge for those ghost trees? Yongwu said nervously. He was already prepared to break his grandmother's jade tube at any time. This Treant was too dangerous for him. You have an evil thing on you. It's not good to keep it by your side. Why don't you give it to me? Old Treant said directly. Old man, you're the old evil thing. You want me, but I won't go with you. I'm only loyal to Master. The sacred mandala flower appeared on Yongwu's arm and replied, It really is the sacred mandala flower. It seems my senses are not bad. Old Treant said excitedly, She's a sacred flower that I subdued. I can't give it to you. Yongwu immediately refused. He could sense the sacred mandala flower's fear of old Treant. He was also clear about the sacred mandala flower's potential. As long as it was nurtured, it would be a heavenly treasure in the future. How could he just give it away? Young man, I know this request is a bit abrupt, but you don't have the qualifications to talk about conditions with me here. Old Treant's gaze became sharp as he said. In the next moment, vines flew towards Yongwu to bind him. These vines were comparable to sacred weapons, and they came very quickly. In the blink of an eye, Yongwu was bound. It was difficult for him to break free. The other party was much stronger than him. One of the vines wrapped around Yongwu's arm and directly targeted the sacred mandala flower. The sacred mandala flower released its evil chi to resist. Its petals were like sharp blades, but it was unable to cut off the vines. Damn, old man, you want to deprive me of my life essence. Even if I die, I won't let you succeed. The sacred mandala flower screamed. On the other side, Yang Wu felt that his arm was about to be torn off. He had the sacred dragon body, but it couldn't compare to an old vine. It could be seen how terrifying the other party was. He really didn't expect to provoke such a powerful guy. He was really depressed. Fortunately, the more dangerous the situation, the calmer he was. He completely released his Tao of death, and a large amount of death chi instantly filled the space. He firmly believed that old Treant was also afraid of death chi. Sure enough, when the old vine was touched by the death chi, it quickly withered and its attack power weakened. I wanted to spare your life, but now I'll devour your life essence. Old Treant said faintly, and a vine pierced towards Yang Wu's heart. Chapter 1007. Old Treant was an old monster in the wilderness. He was almost invincible, and it was easy for him to control a part of the world. Although Yang Wu and the sacred mandala flower both had saint-level combat power, they were still far from being his match. Just as Yang Wu's heart was about to be pierced by the old vine, a holy flame rushed out from his heart. It turned into a black tortoise and bit the old vine. Boom! Boom! The holy flame was very powerful. Although the old vine was tough, it was not enough to deal with blue demoness. There's still the power of the holy flame. What a difficult kid to deal with, but he still has to die. The mandala flower cannot escape from under my nose. Old Treant murmured to himself and attacked again. Dozens of old vines shot toward Yang Wu like arrows. Blue demoness had completely unleashed her power. The raging flames burned in all directions, trying to destroy all the old vines here. Old Treant had already increased his power. Naturally, he would not give Yang Wu too much of a chance. His old vines could break through blue demoness defense and kill Yang Wu. Yang Wu's trump card was not limited to this. He took the opportunity to activate his electric fork talent. Wisps of lightning power accompanied the power of the holy fire to generate a terrifying amount of electricity. The old vines were char black, and the electricity could be transmitted through the old vines to the old tree man. Buzz! Old Treant was trembling from the electricity. His body seemed to be dancing, and he was in extreme pain. Even though he was very strong, he still had a feeling that he couldn't handle these forces. I can't play anymore. 10,000 vines devour. Old Treant was scared. He shouted, and countless old vines fell from the sky, rushing toward Yang Wu and the sacred mandala flower. It's over. The sacred mandala flower cried out in despair. Any old vine was already too much for her to handle. With so many coming at once, she definitely could not handle it. Yang Wu was weaker than her. Could he handle it? Electric fork. Yang Wu's entire body was wrapped in electricity and fire of heart. He raised his head and let out a long roar. All the power of the heavenly thunderbone exploded. A divine weapon hidden in the heavenly thunderbone heard his call and released waves of electric forks. The thunderbolts in the sky seemed to be attracted by it. Some of them suddenly broke through the sky and struck down furiously. Rumble, rumble. The heavenly thunder came very suddenly, and it was a saint-level heavenly thunder, which directly blasted the old transposition. Summoning heavenly thunder? What kind of monster is this kid? Old Ent's expression changed drastically, and he hurriedly propped up his own space to block the power of the heavenly thunder. What the Treant race feared the most was the power of thunder and fire. Once they were struck by lightning, it would be difficult to extinguish the fire, and they would be burned to death. No matter how high their realm was, they would not be able to withstand the continuous bombardment of the opposing power. Old Ent's realm was extraordinarily high. His old vines blocked the first wave of heavenly thunder power, but many of them were destroyed. He was in so much pain that his whole body twitched. Die, old man. Yang Wu took the opportunity to unleash his power. He controlled the strange flame technique and gathered the blue demoness power to the strongest. The raging blue flame blasted toward Old Ent. There was also an electric fork floating, which kept on ravaging the old vines around. It combined with the heavenly thunder outside and destroyed the space where Old Ent was. Mani, fire and lightning, and they are both saint-level powers. This kid specializes in suppressing me. Old Ent could not take it anymore. He screamed strangely, put away his space power, and quickly ran away. The heavenly thunder power seemed to have locked onto him. Another wave of crazy attacks hit him until he screamed strangely again. Something fell from his body. Qing Feng, white-haired Demoness, and Liang Rulong, who were not far away, sensed the commotion and flew over at the same time. They saw an old locust tree break through space and escape. They could not stop it even if they wanted to. Fortunately, they found that Yang Wu was safe and sound below. Their hanging hearts were completely put down. Master, you are amazing. The holy mandala flower also let out a sigh of relief. It praised Yang Wu and went toward the things that fell not far away. Yang Wu put away his electric fork and heart fire power. He saw a few green and black fruits in front of him. He couldn't help but ask, "What are these things?" "These are 10,000-year locust trees. I didn't expect that old man to be so scared. Master, you are so powerful." The holy mandala flower laughed and ate one of the locust trees. Yang Wu quickly put away the other locust trees and cursed, "Why do you eat everything? Aren't you afraid of being stuffed to death?" The 10,000-year locust trees were very rare. Yang Wu did not recognize them immediately. When the holy mandala flower mentioned them, he realized that this was a high-level holy item. It was the key to making the wood elemental saint pill. It could be eaten alone, but ordinary people could not withstand the pure wood elemental essence. Their body would mutate. "Young master, are you okay?" Qing Feng, white hair witch, and Liang Rulong asked as they landed. "I'm fine. You don't have to worry." Yang Wu waved his hand. "I really deserve to die. I didn't protect you well." Liang Rulong knelt down and blamed himself. Qing Feng and white hair, which also blamed themselves. Every time Yang Wu was in danger, there was a limit to how much they could help. "All right, you don't have to blame yourselves. It's fine if you meet an old monster that is too strong. Let's leave this place first," Yang Wu said and quickly left with the three of them. He was afraid that the old treant would come back again. Only after they were far away did Yang Wu tell them about the old treant. Everyone was shocked. That was an old monster close to the Tongtian level, and Yang Wu was actually able to force him to retreat, which made them extremely surprised. Yang Wu wanted to persuade them to go back, but after this experience, they had to follow Yang Wu at all times. They could not make the same mistake again. Even if they met an even stronger opponent, they would die first. They would not let Yang Wu be in danger again. Yang Wu could not persuade them, so he could only let them follow him. "Young master, aren't you going to meet up with them?" Liang Rulong asked. Yang Wu shook his head and said, "Let them go. You have to walk your own path. The battle between the dragon and the phoenix is not the only way to become strong. Being too stubborn is not the way to go." Liang Rulong was stunned. Then, he showed an admiring expression and said, "Young master is wise. Rulong admires you. All right, it doesn't matter if you admire me or not. Hurry up and go protect them. I don't want them to lose their jade plates and their lives." Yang Wu said, "I'm going to protect them?" Liang Rulong pointed at himself and asked, "Do you want me to protect them?" I want to stay and protect the young master." "With your little strength, forget it. Young master, don't hurt people like this. They have their own pride." Yang Wu sent Liang Rulong to look after the other people of the Yang family. Although Liang Rulong could not help them, he could still save them at the crucial moment. As long as they admitted defeat in the face of life and death danger and handed over their jade plates, they would be out of the battle between the dragon and the phoenix. They would be able to receive the protection of the Saint Realm creatures. Yang Wu had Qing Feng and white-haired Demoness by his side. Yang Wu went on his way again. He did not pass through the wilderness. Instead, he passed through some villages and towns. He saw many people. At the same time, he noticed that there were two heavenly dragon jade plates that were approaching him. As expected of the heavenly dragon jade plates, as long as the distance is not too far, I can feel each other's presence. I don't know if I'm lucky or if they are unlucky. Yang Wu muttered to himself and smiled. Half a day later, a few figures appeared near Yang Wu. Just as they were about to attack Yongwu, someone exclaimed, "He seems to be Yongwu." "Which Yongwu?" Someone asked. "The Yongwu on the wanted list." "Damn, this is a demon. Let's chase him away." Yongwu looked at the people who had scattered and was dumbfounded. He thought that they would attack him regardless of the consequences. Who knew that someone would recognize him? He could not help but shake his head and murmur, "Looks like my name is spread far and wide." Yongwu did not take this matter to heart. He continued to head in the direction of the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Another 3 days passed. He did not travel very fast. He walked and stopped. He mainly wanted to feel the elegance of the earth, mountains, and rivers. He also wanted to relax his state of mind before the big battle. On this day, he felt that a jade plate appeared nearby again. Moreover, it was not far from him. Yongwu already had a jade plate, so he was not interested in other jade plates. As long as the other party did not provoke him, it was fine. This time, the person with the jade plate did not come closer. Instead, he stayed away. Yongwu thought that the other party might be afraid of each other. He continued to walk. He was experiencing the speed and pleasure brought by the wind god's legs. The wind god's legs was one of his innate divine abilities. It could increase his speed and improve his leg techniques. After his body was forced to the limit, the power of his wind god's legs became more and more powerful. Now, he was cultivating a Yang clan's footwork. This was a footwork that increased speed. He had integrated it into the heavenly wind god's legs. The explosive speed was not to be underestimated. It had the power to shrink the ground. No matter where he was, at any time, he would always cultivate. It was fine to increase his speed. As he walked, he found that the person with the jade plate was approaching him. Moreover, there was the sound of an intense battle not far away. Yongwu looked in that direction. After hesitating for a moment, he decided to go take a look. Maybe he could take advantage of the situation. The battle there was not small. It was a battle of the dragon transformation realm. From time to time, there would be the explosion of profound chi in the shape of flowers. There were also ghostly shadows flashing around. The two sides were exchanging blows. The final victor had not been decided. The closer Yongwu got, the more he felt that the figure in the battle was very familiar. He quickened his pace for no reason. "Evil creature of the ghost sect, you bullied us master and disciple. Are you not afraid of my sect's revenge?" "Hee, our two sects have always been at odds with each other." "One idiot you were saying." "Don't worry, in this desolate place, I will capture you and play a game of 1 dragon and 2 phoenixes. It will definitely be very fun. You bastard, even if we die, we will not let you have your way. Our sex people are not far from here. They will come to save us. Hee, even if you shout until your throat breaks, no one will come to save you." Chapter 1008. An ugly man and 2 beautiful women were fighting in the middle of the forest. It was truly a sight to behold. The man was dressed in a flamboyant red outfit with a necklace of skulls hanging around his neck. Coupled with his ugly face, he looked as scary as a ghost. Although this man was ugly, his strength was incomparably powerful. He had shockingly reached the peak of the dragon transformation realm, and was also an expert ranked within the top 3,000 on the prediction list. His name was Clown, and his real name was Deng Cho. He was a monster from the ghost cult. Of the 2 women in front of him, one was mature and enchanting. She was dressed in a sexy manner that could cause one's blood to boil. The other was holding a violin. Her hair was messy, but it could not hide her beautiful face. Her clothes were torn in several places, revealing her snow-white skin that was still bleeding. Her appearance was very moving, and anyone who saw her would feel pity for her. The enchanting woman was Sure One Mei from the 100 Flower sect, and the other was her disciple, Yang Karen. The 2 of them were on their way to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, but who knew that they would be pursued by Deng Cho. Moreover, this guy was extremely perverted and even wanted to humiliate both of them. He was too shameless. Sure One Mei's strength had reached the high level of the Dragon Transformation realm, and Yang Karen was not weak either, reaching the low level of the Dragon Transformation realm. The 2 of them had obtained some opportunities in the past few years, and their cultivation talent was not weak either. It was the result of their hard work that they reached this level. Who would have thought that they would encounter such a calamity today? Deng Cho stood on a giant ocelot, waving a chain continuously. He had locked onto the aura of the two women, and neither of them could escape. The violin in Yang Karen's hand was already broken. She turned to her master and said, "Master, don't worry about me. I will stay behind to block him. You break out of the encirclement and leave." "Idiot! How can Master leave you alone? Moreover, I was also poisoned by his soft chi powder. I can't even muster any strength now." Sherwin Mei smiled bitterly. "Could it be that I have to admit defeat, just like that?" Yang Kuren's heart fell to the bottom. She was still waiting for this opportunity to meet Yang Wu, who knew that such a thing would happen first. Her heart was incomparably sad. In the past 2 years, she had been hearing news about Yang Wu. After the Heavenly Secret Tower announced the details of Yang Wu's situation, and she confirmed that he was the young master, she felt even more proud of him and had been looking forward to reuniting with him. "Don't think too much. Today, the two of you will serve me together." "Ha ha!" Deng Cho laughed and threw out the chain in his hand. The chain was like a snake as it quickly enveloped Sherwin Mei and Yang Karen. The two of them were tied up by the chain, and they were tied back to back. The two of them were already injured and had been hit by the soft chi powder. Their profound chi had been scattered, and they had no strength to resist at all. They were easily taken down by Deng Cho. Deng Cho jumped down from the giant ocelot excitedly. Looking at the two beautiful women in front of him, he couldn't help but exclaim, "Beautiful, really beautiful. One is sexy, and the other is delicate. I can't help it. We would rather die than submit. Don't touch us. You will die a horrible death. Shout. Even if you commit suicide, I can still humiliate your corpses. Don't worry, I don't have any reservations." The two women were completely terrified. Listening to Deng Chao's perverted words, they were about to vomit out everything in their stomachs. Just as Deng Cho was about to ruthlessly tear the two women's clothes, his hair suddenly stood on end. His body instinctively rolled to the side. Fortunately, he rolled in time. Otherwise, he would have been killed by a ray of light from behind. Bang! This ray of light didn't land on Deng Chao's body. Instead, it landed on his chain. Instantly, the chain was shattered, and the two women were also sent flying not far away by the force. Just as the two women were about to hit a huge rock, a gentle force supported them and didn't let them get hurt. "Are you two okay?" A magnetic voice sounded in their ears. This voice was like a spring that fell into their hearts, dispersing the fear in their hearts. The two women looked back and saw a handsome face with an extraordinary temperament. That familiar yet strange taste made the two women reveal a blurred color. They had seen this face on the list issued by the Divine Fortune-Telling Building. They had also seen this face a few years ago. However, compared to before, it was less tender and more resolute and domineering. The young man was still the same young man. He didn't age because of the changes in time. Young master, is it really you?" Yang Karen asked excitedly. She couldn't stop her tears from flowing down. Yang Wu gently stroked the tears on Yang Karen's face and said with a smile, "Sister Karen, isn't it me?" "Woo, young master, I miss you so much." Yang Karen instantly cried. She couldn't stop crying and directly threw herself into Yang Wu's arms. She looked very wronged. "Be careful," Sherwin Mei weakly called out. Deng Xiao's counterattack had already arrived. The chain was like a whip as it whipped towards Yang Wu's back. "Where did this brat come from? How dare you ruin my plans? Die!" Deng Cho cursed angrily. The power of this whip could destroy mountains and split rivers. It was very imposing, and not just anyone could withstand it. Yang Wu sensed Deng Chao's attack. He didn't even turn his head. Instead, he stretched out his hand and locked the chain in his hand. With a forceful pull, Deng Chao's body flew towards Yang Wu's position. "What's going on?" Deng Cho cried out. Deng Cho was at the peak of the dragon transformation realm. His strength was extremely strong. Not only was his attack blocked by someone else, even his weapon was in the hands of the other party. Deng Cho even pulled him back. It was enough to show how strong the other party was. However, he wasn't someone to be trifled with. A majestic power erupted from his palm and traveled along the chain towards Yang Wu. It was the soft chi powder. It could make any martial artist's celestial chi disappear temporarily, causing them to fall into a completely powerless state and be at his mercy. Yang Wu's reaction was extremely sharp. He also released power from his palm and directly dispersed the soft chi powder. It was impossible for it to get close to him. After Deng Cho realized that he had failed, he quickly let go of his hand and jumped back. He questioned, "Who are you? Why are you meddling in other people's business? Are you deaf? Didn't you hear her call me young master?" Yang Wu let go of Yang Karen and turned to look at Deng Cho. "You're her young master? You're also a member of the 100-Flower sect? That's impossible," Deng Cho said in disbelief. The 100-Flower sect was the same as Mauname. They were basically a force that respected women. How could they let a man be their young master? More like a slave. Whether it's possible or not isn't something you should care about. If you have any evil thoughts about her, then you deserve to die, Yang Wu said with a trace of killing intent. Yang Wu was a sentimental and righteous person. He was especially protective of his family. Since he was young, he had treated Yang Karen as his own sister. He basically wouldn't let her suffer any grievances. This ugly guy in front of him actually hurt her and even wanted to do some dirty things to her. How could he tolerate this? Hee hee, you want to kill me? How could it be so easy? Deng Cho sneered calmly. He then said, "I can feel that you have the heavenly dragon jade plate. It seems like the heavens are helping me." In the next moment, Deng Cho turned into a series of afterimages and charged towards Yang Wu. The one who strikes first gains the advantage. It was always the key to victory. Deng Chao's speed was very fast. Afterimages flashed past. It was hard to tell where his real body was. A pair of bracers appeared on his arms, and he smashed towards Yang Wu. Demonic steps, copper wall, iron bastion. Deng Cho was able to enter the top 3,000. His fighting strength was naturally not bad. He had cultivated the demonic ghost sect's unique demonic steps to perfection. He was like a ghost clone. Just by relying on his speed, he could scare his opponent. In an instant, it was as if there were 10 Deng Cho smashing towards Yang Wu. Their arms were like chains that hung down. The domineering power was astonishing. "Careful!" Yang Karen and Shi Wenmei shouted at the same time. They had suffered under Deng Cho before. They were afraid that Yang Wu would also fall into his trap. Yang Wu stood in place without moving. The black tortoise armor appeared. A strong defensive force was produced, and in an instant, Deng Chao's attack was completely neutralized. He walked towards Deng Cho and reached out a hand to grab him. Deng Cho revealed an aghast expression and quickly retreated. He realized that this youth in front of him was extraordinary. If he stayed, he would be at a disadvantage. He wanted to retreat. Unfortunately, Yang Wu's hand seemed to be able to extend infinitely. In the blink of an eye, it had grabbed his throat. Deng Chao's eyes were about to pop out. It was really hard to believe that Yang Wu could distinguish his real body's location and catch him so quickly. He exclaimed in his heart, "Saint?" Even if Deng Cho faced a half-saint, he would not be taken down so easily. Only saint-level creatures could make him feel apprehensive. Was this youth in front of him a saint? "Die!" Yang Wu announced Deng Chao's fate as if he was the king of hell. Just as he was about to crush Deng Cho to death, something on Deng Chao's body suddenly rushed towards Yang Wu. Death Scorpion Strike. A poisonous scorpion raised its long and sharp scorpion tail and stabbed towards Yang Wu's face. This change was too sudden. Even Yang Wu was caught off guard. He turned his face to the side, but his face was still scratched by the scorpion's tail. A trace of a scar appeared, and the overbearing venom quickly seeped into his face. His face was extremely unbearable. While Yang Wu was distracted, Deng Cho broke free from Yang Wu's grasp. Moreover, he furiously slapped his palms towards Yang Wu's chest. He shouted ferociously, "Go to hell!" His palms landed on Yang Wu's body. Yang Wu's diverting force reappeared and quickly rebounded the power of his palms. Deng Chao's body was shaken and flew backwards. He smashed into a rock not far away. He was in so much pain that he spat out blood. This time, Deng Cho was not afraid. Instead, he laughed. "Haha, you've been poisoned by my scorpion's venom. Even an immortal can't save you." These two women are still my food. Deng Cho was extremely proud. The smile on his face was as brilliant as a chrysanthemum. Unfortunately, this smile quickly froze. Chapter 1009. The barbarian team began to move. There were many of them, but it would cause a lot of trouble if they had to fight with so many wolf monsters. We didn't provoke any wolf monsters along the way. They shouldn't be coming for us, right? Huang Fu Mingyu said with a frown. Princess, I think we should leave first. It's hard to say if we're late, a barbarian general said. Huang Fu Mingyu didn't dare to be careless. She immediately left with her people. However, the wolf monsters came very quickly. Hundreds of them surrounded them from all directions. They didn't say anything to the barbarians and directly pounced on them. Everyone, protect the princess and retreat, a barbarian general exclaimed. Why are you afraid of them? Follow me and kill them. The young barbarian general, who had been staying beside Huang Fu Mingyu, shouted. This young general was the prince of the Huyin tribe, Huyin Dan. He held a halberd in his hand and rode a mixed-blood golden-hoofed horse. He was already at the advanced general realm. His talent was even stronger than that of Aurora, who had been killed by Yang Wu. Huyin Da unrode his mixed-blood golden-hoofed horse and charged at the wolf monsters. With a wave of his halberd, a wolf monster that leaped at him was immediately cut in half. His killing method was quite decisive. Huyin Da's prestige was not small. He was second only to Princess Mingyu. Since he had taken action, the others also drew their weapons to deal with the wolf monsters. Usually, they wouldn't take the initiative to provoke the wolf monsters. However, since the wolf monsters were attacking them, they couldn't just sit back and do nothing. Huang Fu Mingyu was surrounded by dozens of powerful barbarians. She fought and fled. They didn't want anything to happen to Huang Fu Mingyu, but Huang Fu Mingyu herself was not honest. She came out of the tribe this time to find excitement. Riding on the giant tusked elephant, she pulled out her long sword and shouted like a female general, "Come with me and kill these wolf monsters." Princess, you can't. Your body is priceless. If anything, a brute general wanted to step forward and stop her. However, before he could finish speaking, Huang Fu Mingyu had already leaped down from the elephant and took the initiative to attack the wolf demon. At this moment, all the barbarian troops did not dare to be negligent. One after another, they charged towards Huang Fu Mingyu, not daring to let any of the demon wolves cause any harm to her. Get out of the way for this princess. This princess wants to kill the wolf. Huang Fu Mingyu was still a young girl. She wanted to test her battle addiction, so she couldn't let others do it for her. The others didn't dare to disobey her orders. They still gave her some space and left one or two low-level wolves for her to kill. Huang Fu Mingyu's combat strength was extraordinary. Although she was only 16 years old, she was already a true general realm expert. How could one or two ordinary wolf demons be a match for her? The sword in her hand flashed past, and the two wolf demons were beheaded in an instant. Huang Fu Mingyu was so excited that she rushed directly to the place with the most demon wolves. This frightened the others, and they hurriedly followed her to kill. In this way, the barbarian army and many demon wolves were engaged in a chaotic battle. Originally, the demon wolves were no match for this barbarian army. However, as the demon wolves were killed, other demon wolves cried out again and again, and more demon wolves ran over to help in the distance. If this went on for a long time, it would not be good for the barbarian army. Huyin Dan had always liked Huang Fu Mingyu, so of course, he wouldn't miss the opportunity to show off in front of her. He rushed in her direction and shouted, "Today, I'll kill the demon wolves with Princess Mingyu." While they were working hard to kill the demon wolves, they didn't notice that Yang Wu had quietly lurked out of the formation. With these wolf demons exhausting them, I will definitely capture that woman and avenge Shou Ho, Yang Wu said with an extremely confident expression. Then he took out the horn bow, hid in a corner, and began to shoot arrows. He first targeted the barbarians who were at the outermost periphery and were the least likely to be noticed. He shot more than 10 arrows in a row, and more than 10 barbarians quietly died one after another. The people Yang Wu chose were all peripheral figures, so not many people paid attention to them. Moreover, The demon wolves were covering for him, so he was not in a hurry to kill them. Yang Wu put away the horn bow in his hand and secretly thought, killing these guys at the outermost periphery isn't very effective. It's best if I can kill a few of the stronger ones. Only then will I be able to successfully capture that girl. After he observed the battlefield, he found that Huyin Dan's combat strength was quite outstanding. He was not much weaker than Arualuo, who he had killed before. It was obvious that he was a young expert who had reached the second layer of brute force. In addition, there were a few top-level barbarian generals who were quite powerful. They were the kind of people who would not necessarily lose to him in a one-on-one fight. In the end, Yang Wu's target was Huyin Dan, because this guy was the closest to Huangfu Mingyu. If he got rid of him, there would be fewer obstacles for him. Yang Wu kept changing his position, looking for the best shooting point. At this time, Little Hay said, "You'd better hurry up. There are whistles in the sky." Yang Wu raised his head and looked. Through the gaps in the branches, he found a few eagle demons circling above. They should be whistles belonging to the barbarian army. Yang Wu hid his body better and locked on to Huyin Dan, ready to shoot at any time. He held his breath and pulled the bowstring to its limit. The sharp arrow was placed on the bowstring, and it followed Huyin Dan's movements. When Huyin Dan suddenly turned in his direction, the arrow left the bowstring and shot out. Whoosh! The arrow shot towards Huyin Dan like a meteor. Many barbarians did not expect that someone would shoot an arrow at Huyin Dan in such a chaotic situation. Huyin Dan was able to become one of the strongest warriors at such a young age. He was extremely outstanding. His premonition was very strong. Before the arrow was about to hit him, he sensed it and quickly lowered his body, narrowly avoiding the fatal arrow. However, a large piece of flesh was still shot off from his right shoulder. The pain caused him to fall off his golden hoof horse. "Enemy attack! Enemy attack!" Huyin Dan immediately shouted. The other barbarians panicked. They were facing a surprise attack from the wolf demons. Now, there were other enemies attacking. How could they not be nervous? What a pity! Yang Wu secretly shouted. He knocked 3 arrows in succession and killed 3 barbarians on the spot. Then he held the double-edged 3-dragon spear in one hand and the iron blade in the other. He rushed towards Huangfu Mingyu to kill. There was only one opportunity at present. Yang Wu did not want to let it go. If he waited for Huangfu Mingyu to leave, it would be even more difficult to kill her next time. The barbarian army calmed down after seeing the appearance of a youngster from Great Xia. They were afraid that a large number of Great Xia soldiers would appear here. "I will kill him," a barbarian shouted while riding a Fergana horse. He raised his weapon and rushed towards Yang Wu to kill him. Apart from him, a few other barbarians were also sent to surround them in order to prevent any accidents from happening. "I will let you be the first appetizer of my double-edged 3-dragon spear," Yang Wu said coldly. Then, he rushed towards the barbarian who was the first to rush over. He stabbed the double-edged 3-dragon spear without the slightest bit of xianqi. Only the incomparably sharp tip of the spear pierced the barbarian's throat before he could attack, ending his life. The Fergana horse's momentum did not decrease. However, Yang Wu raised his foot and stepped on it. The horse spun in midair and smashed towards the barbarians who were rushing towards him from behind. The barbarians were thrown off their horses. "Kill!" Yang Wu did not speak any more nonsense. He dragged the double-edged 3-dragon spear and the iron blade and rushed towards the barbarians. The double-edged 3-dragon spear was worthy of being called a genuine king weapon. Yang Wu only used 50% of his strength when he wielded it. However, the increase in strength was much stronger than when he used 100% of his original strength. A terrifying xianqi that was more than 30 meters long left a long trail behind the spear. The barbarians and their mounts who were rushing towards him were all killed in front of him. With his other hand, he waved his iron blade like a shield, cutting down all the arrows that were shot at him. Following his eruption of such a powerful fighting strength, he finally attracted the attention of Huangfu Mingyu. She carefully looked at Yang Wu and then softly exclaimed, "So it's this Great Xia's untouchable. You actually came to the border of my tribe." Then she ordered, "Everyone listen to my order. Concentrate your firepower on this great Xia's untouchable. I want to capture him alive. Huangfu Mingyu clearly knew that her eighth grandpa had told her that this person from Great Xia was related to her sister's whereabouts. She had to bring him back together with her in order to be more certain of her sister's situation. Under Huangfu Mingyu's order, a portion of the barbarians charged towards Yangwu. The combat strength of the surrounding demonic wolves was generally not very strong. With most of the barbarians dealing with them, they did not pose much of a threat. They had enough manpower to deal with Yangwu. On the other hand, Yangwu took advantage of the fact that he had the help of the demonic wolves by his side. He was full of confidence and charged towards Huangfu Mingyu. Facing the overwhelming attacks of the barbarians, Yangwu was completely fearless. His double blade and three-dragon spear continuously attacked like a dragon. That tyrannical power opened up a path, and none of the barbarians that rushed towards him had a good ending. Yangwu did not linger on the battle. He continuously attacked and killed those that could be killed. If he couldn't kill them, he didn't care. At this moment, the scud leg also displayed its prowess. It was a leg technique that could increase the speed of his lower body. This allowed him to quickly charge into Huangfu Mingyu's 100-meter range. This 100-meter range seemed very short, but it was the most dangerous part of the journey. The attacks of the 6 barbarians came one after another from left to right. Their mystic chi was overflowing in all directions and was unstoppable. Their attacks seemed very swift and fierce, but in the eyes of Yangwu, they were as slow as tortoises. They were not worth mentioning at all. Yangwu made the first move. His double blade and three-dragon spear swept across them and sent them flying away like sandbags. Yangwu increased his speed and stepped on the head of a barbarian that was still charging towards him. He activated the dragon turtle water suppression style and stepped on a pole in the air. He quickly rushed towards Huangfu Mingyu. There were many barbarians here. Every time Yangwu seized the opportunity, the barbarians would be helpless against him. Instead, they became Yangwu's leverage. In a few blinks of an eye, he was already 30 meters away from Huangfu Mingyu. It was already within his attack range. Just as Yangwu was about to raise his hand and kill Huangfu Mingyu, the 8 barbarian generals, who had been preparing for a long time, thrust their battle spears at Yangwu at the same time. 8 streams of barbarian generals, each of which was over 15 meters long, strangled Yangwu like flood dragons. Yangwu was in midair. The barbarians below him had scattered, and there was no place for him to stand. It was not easy to face such a fierce attack. Chapter 10:10. Old Virgin. These 3 words immediately caused a bloody battle between the 2 girls. The 2 of them actually started tearing at each other. Their already tattered clothes were torn even more, and some places that shouldn't be exposed were becoming more and more obvious. Yangwu's eyesight was so sharp that he could vaguely capture those soul-stirring places, causing his nose to bleed in an instant. Master, that place is exposed. Look, my family's young master is having a nosebleed. It seems like your charm is not small. You little girl, you actually dare to take advantage of your master. If you have the ability, then let your family's young master take advantage of you. Master is not even 100 years old, and you actually dare to call me an old virgin. Today, I must teach you a lesson. Master, don't, that place can't be scratched. It's so itchy, haha. Little girl, your boobs are showing. Yangwu turned around with great difficulty. It was not suitable for him to watch a scene that was not suitable for children. That would be immoral. He silently chanted the clear heart mantra 100 times in his heart, forcefully suppressing the evil fire in his body. Are the girls these days so open? Yangwu asked himself in his heart. When he once again turned around to take a peek, the 2 women had already wrapped themselves in a cloak, completely covering their bodies. Yangwu felt a burst of sadness in his heart. Why didn't he look a little longer just now? Sherwin Mei still had a charming smile on her face as she asked, "Do you want to watch a little longer?" Yangwu waved his hand a little against his will and said, "No." Haha, you have evil intentions but no guts. So cute. Sherwin Mei laughed. Yangwu quickly changed the topic and said, "Sister Karen, where are you going? How did you meet that guy?" Young Karen replied. We were going to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, but we didn't expect to be targeted by that clown. Are you also going to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss? Where is the Yang family's saint? Why isn't he protecting you? Silly disciple. The Yang family's saint is in the dark. How can we find out? Sherwin May said from the side. When they were fighting just now, she clearly sensed a faint fluctuation. It should be the Yang family sage who is secretly protecting Yang Wu. Oh, so that's how it is. Then, Master, were we exposed just now? Young Karen revealed an embarrassed expression. Saints are always calm. Don't worry. Sherwin May said matter-of-factly. Since we are all going to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, let's go together, Yang Wu suggested. Sure, I couldn't ask for more. Let's leave quickly. Who knows, the ghost cult might appear again. What are you afraid of? With Yang Wu here, we'll kill as many as they come. Young Master is now ranked in the top 1,000 on the bounty list. We can't give him any more trouble. Just like that, Yang Wu took the two women and continued on their journey. Yang Wu learned some things from their conversation. It turned out that although the two of them looked like master and disciple, they were more like sisters. Ever since the two of them returned to the transcendent realm, they had been searching everywhere for opportunities. They had encountered danger, but they had also encountered good opportunities. They had even brushed shoulders with Yang Wu in the Sky Region City. They were lucky enough to obtain 2 Heavenly Phoenix Jade tokens. The people in their cult wanted to strip them of their qualifications, especially Young Karen. She had just advanced to the Dragon Transformation Realm. Many people in the cult thought that she did not have the qualifications to participate in the Heavenly Phoenix battle. They forced her to hand over the Heavenly Phoenix Jade tokens. In a fit of anger, Sherwin May took Young Karen and left the cult's team to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. In Sherwin May's opinion, these 2 Jade tokens were exchanged with their lives. How could they give it away so easily? Moreover, Young Karen was born with the Tao of Sound. She would definitely become a great person in the future. She did not want Young Karen to be buried. Who knew that on the way, they would be targeted by Dang Cho and almost fall into the tiger's mouth. Fortunately, Yang Wu appeared in time. Sister Karen's strength is indeed still a bit lacking, Yang Wu said from the side. But how old is she? She has already reached such a level. There are already people in the cult who want to make her the Holy Maiden, Sherwin May said anxiously. Then she added, the disciple I train is the most outstanding. So what? Now that we have fallen out with those people in the cult, they will probably expel us from the cult, Young Karen said with a gloomy expression. I was still a bit worried before. Now they can't do anything. Why do you say that? Because you have an outstanding young master. What does this have to do with the young master? You can't harm the young master. Sherwin May looked at Yang Wu and asked, Karen is in trouble. Are you going to help her? Yang Wu said seriously, my sister's problems are my problems. Do you think I should help her or not? Yes, this is a real man. I like it. Sherwin May revealed an infatuated expression. After a pause, she asked, Yang Wu is now a top-tier holy elder of the Apothecary Alliance. He's a top-tier holy alchemist, right? Yang Wu nodded in acknowledgement. This matter was no longer a secret. Wow, you're really amazing. We don't even have a top-tier holy alchemist in our cult. With you protecting Karen, who would dare bully her? Sherwin May said with an expression of worship. Let's be serious, Yang Wu said in a low voice. He felt that Sherwin May was like a child. She was too mischievous. I'm being serious. Karen has a top-tier holy alchemist as her young master. The people in the cult won't dare to bully her. It would be best if you could become our cult's guest holy elder. That would be perfect. She can naturally become our cult's new holy maiden, Sherwin May said expectantly. Master, is it really okay for you to do this? I don't want to be a burden to the young master, Young Karen said from the side. Silly disciple, this is a matter of mutual benefit. Sherwin May rolled her eyes at Young Karen and explained, think about it. Right now, Yang Wu is ranked in the top 1,000 on the bounty list. If he becomes our 100 Flower Cult's guest holy elder, he'll have our support. Those who want to kill him will have to think twice, won't they? Haven't you heard about the Yang family situation? They're the weakest of the 8 great battle clans and could be destroyed by the Xing family at any time. After hearing this, Young Karen was speechless. She could only look at Yang Wu. She had already been convinced by her master. It was just as her master said. Yang Wu's status was noble, but he was also in a very dangerous situation. The 100-flower cult was also one of the major powers. Even if it was weaker than the other major powers, its foundation was still enough to intimidate many. You can't make the decision on this matter. Let's wait until I see the holy elder of the 100-flower cult, Yang Wu said from the side. Sherwin May's suggestion was not bad. With his current status, he could easily become a guest holy elder of the 100-flower cult. More importantly, he could also help Yang Karen. This was what he was most interested in. Along the way, Yang Wu gave Yang Karen an inverse dragon body, sculpting pill, and many cultivation resources. He wanted to help Yang Karen break through to the intermediate dragon transformation realm in the shortest time possible. Otherwise, it would be too difficult for her to participate in the battle between the dragons and the phoenixes with her current strength. At the same time, he also gave Yang Karen a holy weapon, a pipa, that he had obtained from a disciple of Mount May. After Yang Karen received the pipa, Sherwin May was even happier than she was. You really are a heroic man. Karen just happened to be lacking a suitable weapon, and you delivered it to her door. I love you to death. After saying this, she even threw herself at Yang Wu. Fortunately, Yang Wu dodged quickly, otherwise he would have been caught by her. Speak properly. Don't get all touchy, Yang Wu said sternly. Didn't you want to conquer her? You don't dare now? Sherwin May said with an aggrieved expression. Yeah, I'm afraid that even my bones will be eaten. TCH, you're a man. The ones at a disadvantage are always the women, not the men. All right? As soon as she said this, Yang Wu had already rushed to her side. He grabbed her waist and pulled her into his embrace. Sherwin May was shocked. She raised her hand to slap Yang Wu's face, but Yang Wu's vice-like hand held her tightly. Yang Wu's fist approached her face and said seriously, Don't provoke me again, or I'll really eat you. Sherwin May felt Yang Wu's pressure and his masculine aura. Her heart immediately skipped a beat. She said in a low voice, Can you let go of me first? It's not that I can't let you go, but there's a condition. Yang Wu outlined a charming smile and said, What do you want? Sherwin May asked. Kiss me, and I'll let you go. Yang Wu decided to punish this woman so that she wouldn't be lawless. He thought that this woman would definitely refuse and curse him. Who would have thought that she would really kiss his face and even kiss his mouth? He was immediately dumbfounded. He was just joking. Yang Karen on the side was also stunned. What had her master, that old maid, done? Can I do it? She felt jealous. When Yang Wu came back to his senses, he pushed Sherwin May away and lightly reprimanded. Crazy woman. You're the one who asked me to kiss you. Are you satisfied now? Sherwin May licked her lips and said with a look of longing for more. Yang Wu felt that he had lost to this woman. Yang Wu decided to stop talking to the woman. Instead, he seriously told Yang Karen some things, including the matter of his parents being brought to the transcendent world, the matter of Yang Wan, and the matter of cultivation. Unknowingly, the three of them came to the first city in the northern Hubei region, Red North City. This was a famous city where a battle between heaven-reaching experts had once taken place. A heaven-reaching expert had blasted down shocking firepower and almost burned the people in this city to ashes. If it weren't for the heaven-reaching expert of Wudong, this city would have been completely destroyed. Even so, this city was still burned full of holes. Moreover, there were still traces of red on the ground. These were the inextinguishable traces left behind by the battle back then. The battle back then was also known as the Battle of Red Sky. When Yang Wu and the others arrived, they immediately felt a scorching aura. It was as if an invisible fire was roasting them. The two women were very uncomfortable. Yang Wu was used to the environment here. His eyes flickered and he couldn't help but exclaim, What a big ball of fire! Chapter 10-11. The Battle of Scarlet Sky. It was an earth-shattering battle. There was an old monster called Zhou Qi, also known as the Crimson Deity. There was another strong warrior who was on par with him, called Zhuge Tian, also known as the God of Heaven. The two of them were old enemies. Both were overlords of the ancient times. The two of them fought fiercely for the title of the strongest person in the northern Hubei region. They fought for 49 days without a clear victor. In the end, Zhuge Tian used his ultimate secret technique, and Zhou Qi was knocked down from the city. He was covered in true fire and instantly set the city ablaze. More than half of the people in the city died because of him, and the city was almost destroyed. Zhuge Tian tried his best to prevent this tragedy from happening, but Zhou Qi was seriously injured and could not control the flames. Zhuge Tian was not much better either. He was powerless. In the end, the first Grandmaster of Wudong stepped in and prevented this tragedy. From then on, the city was renamed Scarlet Sky City. When Yang Wu first arrived at the city, the fire in his heart was beating rapidly. He seemed to see a huge fire burning in his eyes. Countless houses collapsed, and countless people were wailing in grief. They fell into the fire and turned into ashes. Scarlet Sky City is a famous city. Many warriors who cultivate fire profound qi come here to sense the heaven and earth, hoping to find the remnant shadow left behind by the Crimson Deity and obtain his inheritance. Unfortunately, for countless years, no one has heard of anyone obtaining the inheritance. Everything is just wishful thinking. Sherwin Mei said, "I don't think so." Yang Wu replied, "Do you think you have a chance to obtain the inheritance just because you saw an image?" Sherwin Mei asked, "I don't think so. No matter who comes to Scarlet Sky City for the first time, they will have such a feeling. You should wake up." Yang Wu was hit hard. He thought that because he saw the image of the Crimson Deity, he thought that there was the inheritance of the Crimson Deity. Who knew that it was not the case? When Yang Wu came back to his senses, he sensed that there were no less than 50 jade tokens active in Scarlet Sky City. As expected, when we are about to reach the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, many jade tokens appear. Yang Wu sighed in his heart. Just as they were about to head into the city, a javelin came flying towards them. The javelin was extremely fast, and the average Dragon Transformation Realm fighter would not have been able to react in time. However, in front of Yang Wu, it was still unable to do anything. Yang Wu grabbed the spear with his bare hands. This was just an ordinary javelin, and it was instantly crushed by him. Not bad. No wonder you can bring the Heavenly Dragon Jade Medallion with you. Hand over your jade medallions and I, Zetian, will let you go. A young man with purple energy appeared not far away and spoke faintly. This young man was handsome and spirited. He wore a set of purple armor and sat on top of a Chilan lion, looking extremely spirited. Instantly, many onlookers gathered around to watch the show. Zetian, one of the 2,500th experts on the predicted list. I heard that he has already obtained 2 jade tokens. Why hasn't he given up? He is the previous holy son of the purple underworld. His strength has already reached the top of the Dragon Transformation Realm. Half a year ago, I heard that he killed a half-saint with his own hands. His battle strength is quite astonishing. The purple underworld is a first-rate force that can compare with any of the 5 mountain sects. This Zetian has a reason to be arrogant. Who is that young girl and those 2 women? They actually have jade tokens. They shouldn't be easy to deal with. There are more and more geniuses gathering in Scarlet Sky City today. Zetian might just be a subordinate of some peerless monster. Yang Wu heard the discussions of the people around him, but unfortunately, he didn't know who Zetian was. He had never paid attention to the prediction list, and when he killed Deng Cho, he was also ranked in the 2,900s. He didn't care about these things, and in his opinion, other than the position of the Dragon Emperor, he was not interested in anything else. The other party dared to snatch his jade tokens. Instead of getting angry, he laughed and asked, "You want our jade tokens?" Zetian said arrogantly, "That's right. Leave your jade tokens, and you can live. Otherwise, die." Without waiting for Yang Wu to reply, Sherwin Mei said from the side, "You're so arrogant. Why don't you ask who we are? Is the purple underworld that amazing?" Hee. No matter who you are, you have to leave your jade tokens. Of course, it's better if you all stay together. Zetian said arrogantly. His eyes kept wandering between Sherwin Mei and Yang Karen's bodies, looking as if he wanted to tear their clothes off. This child was another pervert. We are both from the Hundred Flower sect. He is Yang Wu from the Yang clan. Are you sure you want to snatch our jade tokens? Sherwin Mei said seriously. Zetian laughed wildly. Ha! It would be even better if he was Yang Wu. I'll take his head and get my reward. I'm most afraid that he isn't Yang Wu. Can you tolerate this idiot? Sherwin Mei asked Yang Wu from the side. Yang Wu said with a dark face, Take out your jade token and I'll spare your life. Yang Wu was not a person who liked to show off, but this person in front of him was too arrogant. He decided to be a predator again. You won't cry until you see the coffin. Zetian said coldly. He held a battle spear and rode his Qilin lion towards Yang Wu. 1,000-foot-long purple profound chi shot towards Yang Wu's heart like lightning. This kind of attack was fast and strong in the eyes of others, but in Yang Wu's eyes, it was as slow as a snail. He passed by, and before anyone could react, Zetian and his mount were smashed to the ground. Pung! A dull sound rang out, and a cloud of dust flew in all directions. The surrounding people were scared into retreating. Roar! The Qilin lion roared. Pooh! A palm pressed down on its head, and its head burst open. The demonic core was instantly caught in Yang Wu's hand. The Qilin lion couldn't be more dead. Zetian was scared silly. Was this young man really Yang Wu? Yang Wu stepped on Zetian's body. His tyrannical aura surged. Zetian wanted to resist, but he couldn't move. It was as if a dragon was pressing down on his body. He couldn't bear it. It's not that easy to kill me. Purple lightning sky. Zetian was arrogant for a reason. He had the innate ability to attract heavenly lightning. He roared and activated his innate ability. The power of heavenly lightning was attracted by him. This innate ability came from his hair. It was purple lightning and could attract the power of heavenly lightning from thousands of miles up in the sky. Boom! Sure enough, heavenly lightning fell from the sky. The momentum was not small. Yang Wu raised his head and looked at the descending heavenly lightning. He was scared silly and didn't have any reaction. Eldest young master, Yang Wu, quickly dodge. Yang Karen and Sherwin Mei cried out in alarm. In their opinion, this heavenly lightning could even kill a half-saint. Yang Wu actually didn't know how to dodge. He would die. The surrounding people also became nervous. This was the first time they saw Yang Wu. Could be the last time. After several heavenly lightning fell, Zetian tragically found that he was still being stepped on like a dead dog. He still couldn't get up. How are you fine? Zetian cried out involuntarily when he saw the intact Yang Wu. This move of his had always been successful. Why didn't it work on Yang Wu? Could it be that Yang Wu's strength was already extraordinary? You don't know that I'm a saint alchemist? Yang Wu lowered his head and asked Zetian, Are you really the saint alchemist Yang Wu? Zetian asked with a flushed face. I'm the real deal. Yang Wu nodded lightly. I didn't recognize Mount Tai. How about you let me go? Zetian begged for mercy without any backbone. In the next moment, he cried out in alarm, Summon the heavenly lightning. Quickly come and strike him to death. Another dozen heavenly lightning bolts violently struck down. Each of them contained the power of a half-saint. It was indeed very frightening. However, after these heavenly lightning bolts struck down, Yang Wu was still standing on Zetian's body unscathed. He said coldly, Don't you understand what I mean? This young master isn't even afraid of holy lightning. Why would I be afraid of your mere, fake heavenly lightning bolts? You're really retarded. Yang Wu was very angry. Once he was angry, the strength of his foot increased and directly broke Zetian's waist. Gotcha! Zetian felt that he was very tragic. How could he have met such a fiend like Yang Wu? Show mercy! Someone cried out in alarm. Sword chi enveloped Yang Wu. 3 sword chi locked onto Yang Wu from different directions. It was unknown whether they wanted to save or kill Yang Wu. These 3 people had the strength of a half-saint and hadn't truly stepped into the Starmark realm. This wasn't considered a violation. Yang Wu kicked Zetian up and used him as a human shield to block the 3 sword chi. The other party was so frightened that they hurriedly withdrew their sword chi. Say, Master Yang Wu, if you have something to say, say it properly. Why do you need to use weapons? An old man holding a sword stopped and took the lead to speak. That's right, that's right. We have offended our Saint Master. We apologize on his behalf. You're a great person who doesn't remember the offense of a lowly person, and let him go. Another old man added, let him go. Otherwise, don't even think about leaving. The third old man said coldly, the 3 Xianming elders. The surrounding people cried out in alarm. Shi Wenmei's expression became unsightly. She had heard of the 3 Xianming elders. They were famous figures of the older generation of the Purple Underworld sect. The 3 of them had the strength of a half-saint. When they joined forces, their battle strength was comparable to the Starmark realm. The 3 of them were vicious and merciless people. She didn't expect that they would protect Zi Tian together. Yang Wu, let him go. Shi Wenmei persuaded Yang Wu. Yang Wu acted as if he didn't hear Shi Wenmei's words and started to collect the universe items on Zi Tian's body. He didn't just take the universe ring like he did with others. For such an extraordinary person, he would have a backup plan. Perhaps he had many universe items. You, what are you doing? Don't touch everywhere. Hey, you touched this, saints, but you damn pervert. Zi Tian's face was completely black. He was grabbed by Yang Wu and his waist was broken. He couldn't resist at all. The eldest of the 3 Xianming elders said in a deep voice, Saint Master Yang Wu, you're going too far. The second brother shook the long sword in his hand and said, you're making it difficult for us. You won't be able to escape if the 3 of us join forces. Let our Saint Master go, and we'll spare your life. Why are you wasting words with him? Just kill him. The third brother shouted coldly. In the next moment, the 3 elders attacked again. Chapter 10:12. The Xianming elders, the eldest Xian Qing, the second Xian Ku, and the third Xian Ji, cultivated the Xianming Qi. Their combat strength was not to be underestimated. Moreover, they knew the secret technique of joining hands. When they joined hands, they could deal with the Starmark realm. While they were talking to Yang Wu, their auras had already secretly joined together. In an instant, they attacked at the same time with an earth-shattering momentum. Shi Wenmei and Yang Karen were blown away by the powerful force. There was no need to talk about the surrounding people. They thought that they were far enough away, but unfortunately, it was still not enough. They were sent rolling by the force. Yang Wu captured Zi Tian and felt the powerful force binding him. It prevented him from hurting Zi Tian and also prevented him from using his force. This kind of pressure was comparable to the first Great Starmark realm. 3 forces containing the Xianming sword Qi stabbed at Yang Wu's vital points from all directions. One stabbed at his face, one at his heart, and one at his nether regions. Every sword was incomparably ruthless. One stab, it would be a fatal injury. The Xianming elders were very confident in joining hands. They didn't believe that Yang Wu had the ability to resist. The difference between a half-sage and a true sage was only one word, but the difference in strength was like heaven and earth. Clang, clang, clang. When their sword Qi was about to land on Yang Wu's body, the black tortoise battle armor appeared. A crisp sound of collision rang out. The 3 swords seemed to have stabbed into a wave and were instantly deflected. Yang Wu coldly said to Zi Tian, looks like they don't care about your life. Then die. Zi Tian quivered and shouted, no, please let me go. Zi Tian didn't have time to finish his words. Yang Wu had broken his neck. The Xianming elders who were sent flying went crazy. Zi Tian was a person that their Purple Underworld sect had focused on nurturing. Moreover, he was the only one who had the Heavenly Dragon Jade token. They didn't expect that he would be killed by Yang Wu before even entering the battle. They hated it. Yang Wu, you'll die a horrible death. I will tear you into pieces. I will chop you up and feed you to the dogs. The 3 Xianming elders shouted in unison. The Xianming Qi on their bodies became denser and denser. This was a type of energy with extremely shocking destructive power. It was several times more terrifying than ordinary profound energy, or even a dozen times more powerful. It was precisely the energy that made the 3 Xianming elders famous. Xianming sword. The 3 swords merged into one. Sword Qi crisscrossed. The ground cracked, and the surrounding objects were cut into pieces. The onlookers were frightened to the point. Ran. The three swords merged into one like a saint. The three-sword chi sealed off three directions, not giving Yang Wu any chance to escape. The three-sword chis fell at the same time, wanting to completely dismember Yang Wu. Is this the power you're so proud? The armor, battle armor, the power to test. The three swords is the power, the was too. He wanted to test, and the armor. And, with, he, of, to s, to be, he, to the was. He, it, rumble. The three swords fell. The power of the Xianming elders caused dust to fly. The ground cracked, and a deep pit was formed. The Xianming elders didn't stop with one strike. They continued to slash. They wanted to tear Yang Wu into pieces. Yang Wu was very powerful. They didn't dare to be careless. In the deep pit, Yang Wu's black tortoise armor rotated very quickly. 70% of the sword chi was neutralized, and the remaining 30% could not harm his sacred dragon physique. Not enough. Yang Wu carefully comprehended the profoundness of the black tortoise armor. He felt that his defensive armor could deflect even more of the force. The black tortoise battle armor was formed from the black tortoise battle chi, which was unique to the Yang family. It was like the tortoise shell of the black tortoise. It was like the 8 trigrams formation. As long as the chi flowed in reverse, it would produce. The faster the chi flowed in reverse, the greater the. Yang Wu understood this. But in battle, it wasn't easy to use the battle environment, the mood, and other factors could affect his operation. He calmed down and pondered the fastest. He used the supreme 9 mysteries formula to the limit. Again and again, he forced the battle armor's power to the limit. As expected, the Xianming elders attacked continuously. They thought they could completely kill Yang Wu, but they discovered that a great deal of sword chi was reflected back at them. What's going on? Why is our? Is he wearing a high-grade sacred armor? Not good. Dodge. The more the Xianming elders attacked, the greater the rebound. Many Xianming sword chi flew back to them. Your power is too weak. A voice rang out. The Xianming 3 elders formation was disrupted, and Yang Wu appeared in front of them in perfect condition, giving them a fierce shock. They saw the black tortoise armor appear on Yang Wu's body. It was not a sacred armor, but a battle armor condensed from his own power. It was hard for them to accept that the defensive power of this battle armor could block the combined power of the 3 of them. We can't hold back anymore. Use your trump cards, Xian Qing shouted. He spat out a mouthful of blood, which landed on his battle sword. At the same time, the other 2 spat out blood as well. Their battle swords were stained with blood. Suddenly, the 3 people's killing intent surged, and waves of Xianming chi surged. The 3 swords exuded extremely terrifying power, and they left their hands. They shouted together with dense killing intent. Blood sacrifice, Xianming sword formation, kill. The 3 Xianming swords intertwined and formed a blood formation. The Xianming chi in the surroundings gathered toward the blood formation. Thousands of sword chi surged. The dense Xianming chi formed a sword domain and flew toward Yang Wu. This was their trump card. It was enough to kill a first-grade Star Mark Saint. Yang Wu didn't dare to be arrogant. He faced the attack and said, "You don't have the right to kill me." Zhenwu fist Dao. Yang Wu transformed into Zhenwu the Great Emperor and also looked like a black tortoise breaking out of the water. The sun and the moon flowed. The domineering fist force blasted towards the sword realm. The endless fist will and the indomitable spirit made it seem like no one in the world could stop his fist. Rumble, rumble. The domineering fist force collided with the sword domain, and instantly, countless profound chi waves exploded. Many of the sword chi were shattered by the fist force, and the black tortoise did not fare well either. It was cut by the tens of thousands of sword chi until it was covered in wounds. Fortunately, its power was incomparably abundant. It broke through all the sword domain and landed on the 3 Xianming swords, directly knocking them away. PFFF. Ah! The three Xianming elders were shocked. They spat out blood and screamed. Their auras withered. Yang Wu destroyed their strongest attack with a single punch. Run! The three Xianming elders didn't dare to stay any longer. The moment they were defeated, they fled without hesitation. Yang Wu wanted to give chase, but he hesitated and stopped. He didn't chase after the three Xianming elders. In his eyes, the three elders could be killed. They didn't have jade tokens. Killing them would be a waste of energy. Yang Wu walked toward Sherwin Mei and Yang Karen unscathed. He turned back and said, "Let's go. We're going into the city." You heavily injured the three elders? Sherwin Mei recovered from her shock. Didn't you see it? Yang Wu asked. In the next moment, Sherwin Mei pounced toward Yang Wu. Yang Wu dodged in an instant and looked at her with vigilance. What are you going to do? I love you to death. Sherwin Mei looked at Yang Wu with adoration like a little fangirl. In any case, you're my sister's master. Pay attention to your image. Yang Wu covered his forehead. He felt that Sherwin Mei was a crazy woman. That's right. Master, if you continue to be like this, I won't recognize you as my master anymore. Yang Karen agreed. She got closer to Yang Wu and naturally hooked her arm around Yang Wu's. The soft part of her body stuck to his arm, making Yang Wu's heart flutter. Sherwin Mei put her hands on her hips and pointed at Yang Wu. If you don't want to be my master, then don't. We're sisters. Why are you hugging Yang Wu's arm? You scheming bitch, let go of him. Please, I'm his sister. What's wrong with hugging my little brother? Yang Karen blushed. In reality, she was extremely nervous. She had always treated Yang Wu as a young master and didn't dare overstep her boundaries. However, when she saw Yang Wu display his invincible might, she was completely captivated. I can't stand you. I want a hug too. Sherwin Mei walked over and hugged Yang Wu's other arm. Yang Wu didn't even have a reason to refuse because the other added, I'm your sister's master. Without me, she wouldn't be who she is now. Shouldn't you repay me on her behalf? All right, this reason was really invincible. Just like that, Yang Wu was carried into Scarlet Sky City by the two women. When Yang Wu and the two women had just left, this place immediately exploded. That young man just now was the Saint Alchemist Yang Wu? Why is he still so young? It should be him without a doubt. He's really a young hero. It's fine if he's so good at alchemy, but why is his combat strength so abnormal? No wonder he's ranked in the top 1,000 on the bounty list. No wonder the Xing family is willing to pay such a high price for his head. If he's allowed to grow, he'll definitely change the situation of the battle race. Zetian was killed just like that. The boss behind him will definitely not let Yang Wu go. That person is one of the strongest contenders for the position of Dragon Emperor. It's going to be a good show to watch. The news of Yang Wu's arrival in Scarlet Sky City instantly spread throughout the city. Yang Wu's name had already spread throughout the Transcendent Realm. His reputation as the youngest top-notch Saint Alchemist in history was too resounding. Many people moved when they heard the news. Some rushed over just to see Yang Wu. Some hoped to have Yang Wu concoct pills. There were also people who wanted to take Yang Wu's head. In short, there were people with all kinds of thoughts. Those who had jade tokens left quietly. They didn't want to lose their jade tokens. After all, the place where Yang Wu appeared was definitely not peaceful. In fact, it was exactly so. They made a wise choice. Chapter 1013. A few outstanding Sky Prides had arrived in the Scarlet Sky City. Other than Yang Wu, there was also young Master Xiao Yao, Xia Zixio. He was a Sky Pride who was ranked in the top 500. He was a playboy and surrounded by beautiful maids. He was the young master of the Xiao Yao sect. Nowadays, the prediction list was not accurate. Many people had yet to reveal their true strength. Xia Zixio was one of them, as no one had seen him fight with his full strength. There was also Qing Jing, a nun from the Hung Mountain sect who was ranked in the top 300 of the Heavenly Phoenix ranking. This nun was called Pure Lotus Fairy, but not long ago, she defeated a few top-notch Dragon Transformation Realm warriors who were rude to her and her senior sisters. From then on, she was ranked in the top 3 of the prediction list. It was a pity that she was still young. If she was given a few more years, she would definitely be a strong contender for the Emperor Phoenix. There was a sky pride called Mezaheo. No one knew where he came from. He was ranked in the top 800 of the Heavenly Dragon ranking. His plum spear could be said to be invincible. There was also Pan Xiaoxin, a fairy from the Hundred Flower sect. She was ranked in the top 600 of the Heavenly Phoenix ranking. She was beautiful and had countless followers. There were also some sky prides with jade tokens. They were not ordinary people. They had gathered here to experience the ruins of the Battle of Scarlet Sky and to find allies. If they went to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss alone, they would definitely be surrounded by a large number of sky prides. They might not be able to keep their qualification to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. In every Dragon Phoenix battle, strength was the most important factor. Before the battle, many prodigies would form cliques and cliques to make it easier for them to fight for a higher ranking. Right now, these sky prides with jade tokens were gathered in the Scarlet Sky restaurant. This was the #1 restaurant in the Scarlet Sky City. It had a total of 7 floors and occupied a large area. The sky prides were called to the 7th floor by young master Xiao Yao and Mezaheo to discuss the matter of forming an alliance. Young master Xiao Yao represented the Xiao Yao sect. Beside him sat 2 sexy ladies. Their hot figures instantly attracted the attention of all the men. Young master Xiao Yao laid in the embrace of the 2 ladies, looking extremely relaxed. He himself was handsome and elegant, and his silver-gray hair was very eye-catching. Mezaheo, on the other hand, was an ordinary-looking youth. He wore ordinary hemp clothes and carried a war spear wrapped in oilcloth. It was the plum spear that made him famous. He would either not use a spear, or if he did, it would draw blood. There was also a beautiful baby-faced girl who was very attractive. She wore pink clothes and looked like a quiet girl. Beside her were several beautiful girls. She was Pan Xiaoxin of the 100 Flower sect. There were also a few women in a corner. These women were not the most beautiful, but they were more eye-catching than the other women because they were nuns. Their nun's attire was so eye-catching, especially the young girl in the middle. She was as quiet as a peerless lotus. When she put her palms together, she looked like Guanyin descending, making people unable to have any thoughts of blasphemy. She was the pure lotus fairy, Qingjing. Everyone, what do you think? This young master is not talented, but I am willing to advance and retreat together with everyone. Once we reach the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, I guarantee that no one will dare to have any ideas about us. Xia Zixio lazily said. This banquet was set up by him. If he wanted to rope in these people to form an alliance, the position of leader would naturally belong to him. One of the geniuses said, I don't have any objections. Young Master Xiao Yao's strength is above mine. I submit to you. I don't have any objections either. I want a guarantee to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Another person said. There were about 40 people present who had jade tokens. Some of them did not. Those who had responded earlier were those who had jade tokens. In the blink of an eye, 7 or 8 people agreed with Xia Zixio's suggestion. These people were geniuses from first-rate and second-rate forces. It was not easy for them to have a jade token. To be able to ride on young master Xiao Yao's coattails, they were quite happy. Pan Xiaoxin sweetly said, I don't have any objections to forming an alliance. However, this fairy will be the leader. What do you think? This cute-looking girl exuded a domineering aura. She really had a different kind of flavor. Why do you have to compete with my young master? The sexy girl beside Xia Zixio stared at Pan Xiaoxin. Do you have the right to speak here? Pan Xiaoxin replied. She then looked at Xia Zixio and said, Why don't you take care of your vase? You don't even know that trouble comes from a mouth. Slap. Just as Pan Xiaoxin finished speaking, Xia Zixio gave the girl a backhand slap. The girl was stunned. You hit me? The girl touched the bleeding corner of her mouth and said with a look of disbelief. Xia Zixio caressed the girl's face and said, She's right. You have no right to speak here. You better know your place. Don't cause trouble for me. Do you understand? But young master, the girl still wanted to argue. However, what awaited her was another ruthless slap. Her face was red and swollen. It was so painful that tears flowed down her face. "Shut up," Xia Zixio reprimanded. In the next moment, he revealed a refreshing expression and said, "I hit you for your own good. Be good and stop talking. I'll love you properly later." "Fairy Xiaoxin, are you satisfied?" Xia Zixio looked at Pan Xiaoxin and said, "There's nothing to be satisfied about. The position of leader belongs to me. Otherwise, my 100-flower sect will withdraw. Brothers and sisters who support me, please respond," Pan Xiaoxin said domineeringly. A nun from the Hung Mountain sect said, "We're monks. We'll go with Fairy Pan." The Hung Mountain sect was full of women. They all had the Heavenly Phoenix jade pendant. Women were naturally close to women. Her stance was not surprising. "I think it's good to follow Fairy Pan," a prodigy said. "Yes, Fairy Pan. Please take good care of me," someone else said. There were many people who supported Pan Xiaoxin. They were not much worse than Xia Zixio. Some people in the middle spoke up. They were willing to form an alliance and did not mind who the leader was. There were also 2 or 3 people who said they would leave. Suddenly, someone said, "I support Mei Ziheo to be the leader." Mei Ziheo had been resting with his eyes closed. Even if someone said that, he was indifferent. Xia Zixio looked at Mei Ziheo and said, "Brother Ziheo, you should say something." Pan Xiaoxin also said, "Say who you support. Otherwise, scram." Mei Ziheo opened his eyes and said, "I don't think either of you have the right to be the leader." In that instant, Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin's expressions turned ugly. Could it be that Brother Ziheo is also interested in the position of leader? If Fairy Xiaoxin is willing to give up the position, I don't mind. Xia Zixio calmly took a sip of wine from the woman beside him. Pan Xiaoxin said decisively, "I won't give up the position. Mei Ziheo, you don't have the right to be the leader." Mei Ziheo laughed and said, "Haha, of course I don't have the right. I didn't say I wanted to be the leader. I think that Fairy Pan Jing is worthy of being the leader. What do you all think?" At that moment, everyone's eyes involuntarily turned to the young nun sitting in a quiet corner. The young nun was shocked. She waved her hands and said, No, I don't have a right. I don't want to be the leader. Fairy Pan Jing, can you bear to see us kill each other here? As long as you're the leader, I believe the others won't have any objections. Brother Xiao Yao can be the deputy leader. Fairy Pan can also be the deputy leader. If everyone is united, entering the Dragon Phoenix abyss won't be a problem. Mei Ziheo looked at Pan Jing and said emotionally. Previously, he was attracted by Pan Jing's otherworldly temperament. Moreover, her ranking was not low. That was why he supported her to be the leader. Those who were in the middle also agreed, agreeing that Pan Jing should be the leader. Xia Zixio's temperament was fickle. Pan Xiaoxin was impulsive and domineering. Pan Jing stood aloof from worldly affairs. The 3 of them each had their own personalities. The geniuses in front of them all came from different places and were not familiar with each other. Naturally, they would choose a leader who was beneficial to them. Pan Jing was undoubtedly the most suitable. Just like that, out of the 40 people with jade tokens, nearly 20 people supported Pan Jing to be the leader. Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin were depressed. Pan Jing refused. She did not like the leader's position at all. Moreover, she felt that Mei Ziheo was up to no good. Junior sister Pan Jing, for the sake of the sect's rise, you have to be a little more responsible. The Hongshan sect's prudent nun transmitted her voice to Pan Jing. This nun was Ning Xin, a top-tier dragon transformation realm cultivator. She was close to 100 years old and was one of the Hongshan sect's geniuses. She was ranked in the top 2,000 on the Heavenly Phoenix ranking. The Hongshan sect's nuns did not care much about fame and fortune. It was just that the Hongshan sect now felt like the sun was setting in the west. Coincidentally, an outstanding disciple like Pan Jing had appeared. Naturally, they hoped that she could do well. The 5 mountain sects competition would begin again in a few years. They did not want to be at the bottom again. Pan Jing blinked her eyes and said with difficulty, "Then I'll be the leader." Junior sister Pan Jing, you don't have to be so troubled. If you don't want to be the leader, no one can force you. Xia Zixio looked at Pan Jing and said faintly. After a pause, he added, "You're more suited to be a vegetarian and pray to Buddha. leave this kind of fighting to me. This little nun is not bad. Unfortunately, she's not the best leader. Can't you see that she's aloof from worldly affairs and has not experienced any big situations? If there's a conflict, think about what abilities she has, Pan Xiaoxin said sternly. Then she said, "How about this? The three of us have a competition. Whoever wins will be the leader. How about that?" Xia Zixio immediately agreed. That should be the case. Pan Jing's aura weakened as she replied, I don't want to fight. You have to fight even if you don't want to, Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin said in unison. Just as Pan Jing was in a difficult position, a voice came from downstairs. How about I fight you on behalf of junior sister Pan Jing? Chapter 10:14. Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin were both at the peak of the dragon transformation realm. They could even fight a half-saint or even kill one. They could even fight a saint at the level 1 Starline realm. Qing Jing's ranking wasn't low, but her combat power was only at the advanced dragon transformation realm. For her age, it was already very high for her to reach such a realm. However, compared to Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin, she was still a little lacking. Of course, Qing Jing's combat power wasn't necessarily weaker than theirs. She just wasn't good at competing with others and didn't want to compete. She was a person who stood aloof from worldly affairs. Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin had both proposed a competition to show their strength to Qing Jing. They also wanted to be the leader. Even though Qing Jing had expressed that she didn't want to fight, they were still so aggressive. The nuns of the Hung Mountain sect didn't look good. Mei Zihao was about to speak up for Qing Jing, but unexpectedly, someone beat him to it. At the staircase, a young man was escorted by two women. Instantly, everyone's eyes fell on the three of them. The young man's temperament was outstanding, like a banished immortal. Anyone who saw him would be deeply attracted by his temperament. The two women were also very beautiful. They were even more beautiful than the two women by Xia Zixio's side. One of them had a fiery figure and was extremely sexy. Her eyes were like silk, like a seductive fairy. The other was delicate and lovely. She carried a peep on her back, like a fairy from the moon. Both women were beautiful in their own way. Any man who married one of them would be envious. Senior brother Yongwu. Qing Jing, who was always calm, revealed a rare expression of excitement. She couldn't help but exclaim. Monks cultivated their bodies and minds. They all had the mentality that they wouldn't be shocked even if the sky collapsed. Qing Jing's shocked the nuns of the Hung Mountain sect. They all knew Qing Jing. She was an extremely pure girl. Her heart was as clean as a piece of white paper. She was wholeheartedly focused on cultivating her body. They had never seen her lose her composure like this. I was wondering who it was. So it's junior sister Wenmei. Is he your new lover? Pan Xiaoxin's gaze fell on Shi Wenmei, revealing a hint of disdain. Yes, he's my lover. However, he's not new. He's the only one. Shi Wenmei looked at Pan Xiaoxin and replied provocatively. She hugged Yang Wu's arm with an intoxicated look on her face. Xia Zixio's eyes flashed with jealousy as he said indifferently, Looks like there's someone who's more carefree than me. Are you the Saint Master Yang Wu of the Apothecary Alliance? Mei Zihao asked, staring at Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't pay attention to the others. He broke free from Shi Wenmei's embrace and walked directly towards Qing Jing. He smiled and said, Hee, junior sister Qing Jing, long time no see. You're even more beautiful than before, more otherworldly. It's really a happy thing to see you here. Yang Wu originally wanted to praise Qing Jing for being prettier than before, but when he thought of Qing Jing's identity, he quickly changed his words. Qing Jing was his savior, and he was extremely grateful to her. This kindness would not change with time. Moreover, Qing Jing was the most pure and quiet girl he had ever met in his life. She was a friend worthy of being cherished. Qing Jing's face became slightly hot. She didn't dare to look directly at Yang Wu. She softly replied, Senior brother Yang Wu is too kind. Junior sister Qing Jing, is he the one who once saved the lives of our Hung Mountain sect's junior sisters, Yang Wu? Ning Xin asked Qing Jing. Qing Jing nodded and said truthfully, Yes, senior sister Ning. So it's the benefactor of our Hung Mountain sect. Please accept this humble nun's greeting. Ning Xin politely said to Yang Wu. She bowed to Yang Wu, and the other nuns also bowed. They had heard from their junior sisters about the battle in the fragmented space a few years ago. Yang Wu was saved by Qing Jing, but later on, Yang Wu saved them. The debt of gratitude had long been settled. At that time, Yang Wu had even refined some pills for them. His performance was extremely eye-catching, and he was unanimously recognized by them. After Yang Wu became famous in the transcendent world, they praised Yang Wu as someone who should only be in the heavens. When Yang Wu became a top saint pharmacist, the Hung Mountain sect also sent a congratulatory gift. Yang Wu didn't know why they were so good to him, but no matter what, he was grateful to the Hung Mountain sect. He was grateful to Qing Jing, and he wouldn't allow anyone to bully her. Yang Wu returned the greeting to Ning Xin and then looked around at the people here and said faintly, I heard you all discussing something just now. If any of you want to fight junior sister Qing Jing, please come out, and I'll accept it on her behalf. Yang Wu's body released an emperor's domineering aura, and everyone present was shocked by his aura. Senior brother Yang Wu, let's forget about this. We won't fight. Qing Jing said, I'll take care of this for you. Don't you trust me? Yang Wu looked sideways at Qing Jing and smiled. Qing Jing didn't dare look directly at Yang Wu, and she instinctively said, I trust you. Yang Wu's smile was very beautiful, and it was very warm. She felt that her mind was a bit messed up. Are you the saint alchemist Yang Wu? Mei Ziheo asked again. Does it matter if I am or not? Yang Wu said, Of course it matters. If you are the saint alchemist Yang Wu, I believe no one will object to you being our leader. Mei Ziheo said with a burning expression. In fact, Mei Ziheo had already determined that Yang Wu was the legendary youngest saint alchemist in history. That's right. Saint Master Yang Wu, be our leader. We will definitely listen to you. I also agree. There is no one more suitable than Saint Master Yang Wu to be our leader. Saint Master Yang Wu, I am willing to follow you. Please accept my kneeling. Saint Master Yang Wu, I don't care if you are the leader. I am willing to walk with you. In an instant, the direction of the wind completely changed. Those who supported Xia Zixio and those who supported Pan Xiaoxin, no matter if they were men or women, all expressed their support for Yang Wu. Aside from a few people who supported him, there was no doubt that he would crush everyone else. Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin's faces darkened. Handsome, really handsome. The man I fancy is indeed different. Shi Wenmei said with a face full of worship. Master, wake up. He's my young master. Yang Karen could not stand Shi Wenmei's appearance. I am also your master. If you want to repay me, then trick your young master into coming to my room tonight. Shi Wenmei said shyly. Yang Karen was about to collapse. Her master was beyond saving. Senior Yang Wu, you could be the leader. We support you. Qing Jing also expressed her position. She seemed to think that Yang Wu was the most suitable person. Yang Wu shook his head and said, No, you could be the leader. I can't. Qing Jing hurriedly refused. There's nothing you can't do. It's fine as long as I'm here. Yang Wu said with certainty. Then he said clearly, Thank you everyone for looking up to me. If there is no other saint alchemist with the same name, then the person you're talking about is me. However, I have no interest in the leader position. I will support junior sister Qing Jing to be the leader. If anyone goes against her, then they're going against me, Yang Wu. Everyone could see that Yang Wu was protecting Qing Jing. They hurriedly changed their words and supported Qing Jing to be the leader. After all, they knew that Qing Jing was just a puppet. The person who could truly speak was Yang Wu. Junior sister Wenmei, are you going to betray the sect? Pan Xiaoxin said sternly to Shi Wenmei. Senior sister, why do you say that? I am loyal and devoted to the sect. The sun and moon can be my witness. You cannot slander me. Shi Wenmei replied. Since it's like this, then get Yang Wu to support me to be the leader. I won't take the phoenix token from you and your disciple. Pan Xiaoxin's baby face had a hint of threat as she said, Senior sister, you are so naive. Shi Wenmei sneered. Could it be that you have no way of convincing your lover? Senior sister, You should find a man to try the taste of loving someone. Right now, I'm the one who is pursuing him. He hasn't taken a liking to me yet. What ability do I have to make him support you to be the leader? You're still so shameless. Same to you. Xia Zishu also opened his mouth. He looked straight at Yang Wu and said, Saint Master Yang Wu, are you sure you want to interfere in this matter? Qing Jing's matter is my matter. Yang Wu looked straight at him and said, All right, since it's like this, then let's draw a line. Me, Fairy Xiaoxin, and you. Whoever has the strongest battle strength will be the leader. How about it? Xia Zishu said with high fighting spirit. Let's fight. Pan Xiaoxin agreed from the side. She then looked at Yang Wu and said, You want to stand up for the little nun? You have to win against the two of us first. If I win against the two of you, then I will be willing to chase after junior sister Qing Jing. Yang Wu didn't know the specifics of the situation, so he had to clarify. That's right. As long as you win against the two of us, you can decide who will be the leader. You will lead us to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss and work together to prevent other prodigies from stealing our jade tokens. This will ensure that we have the qualifications to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Xia Zishu agreed. Yang Wu thought for a moment and said, From the looks of it, this leader position is a bit strenuous and unrewarding. You can't say it like that. The leader position can command us to fight for other people's jade tokens. Even after we enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, we can still fight for a higher ranking. Maisie Heyo reminded from the side. So that's how it is. Yang Wu suddenly understood. Now, they were building a small group. Once this small group was successfully formed, it would continue until the end of the Battle of Dragons and Phoenixes. The leader position was the undisputed boss of these people. When fighting for a higher ranking, he could command his subordinates to participate in the battle. He had an advantage that others couldn't compare to. Young master, why don't you be the leader yourself? Yang Karen advised. She believed that as long as Yang Wu was willing to be the leader, Qing Jing and the rest wouldn't have any objections. Sure enough, Qing Jing immediately agreed and supported. Yes, yes. Senior brother Yang Wu, you could be the leader. This leader position belongs to none other than you. Yang Wu looked at Qing Jing and said with certainty. He then looked at Xia Zishu and Pan Xiaoxin and said, Don't waste time. Both of you come at me together. Chapter 10:15. Yang Wu didn't think that he was someone who liked to be in the limelight. However, he had no choice but to be in the limelight at certain times. Some things couldn't be avoided just because he didn't want to. He indeed didn't care for a mere leader's position. However, being able to subdue all these people was the best way to protect Jingjing. After all, he wouldn't stay by her side all the time, right? If the people present knew what Yang Wu was thinking, they would probably jump up and curse him. They weren't here to be guards, okay? Xia Zishu and Pan Xiaoxin felt Yang Wu's contempt for them and were both enraged. So what if Yang Wu was good at alchemy? Could it be that he could suppress the two of them in martial strength? Are you sure you want to take on the two of us by yourself? Xia Zishu asked rhetorically. I don't want to waste time. Yang Wu replied very seriously. Arrogant and conceited. Then we must fulfill your wish, Pan Xiaoxin said with a sneer. Yang Wu didn't bother to explain anymore. He had already taken the lead and flew out of the restaurant. In the next instant, the other prodigies also swiftly chased after him. They wanted to witness Yang Wu's battle prowess. If they saw how Yang Wu annihilated Zitian earlier, they would know how powerful Yang Wu was. Xia Zishu and Pan Xiaoxin both chased after him. At this moment, a protector secretly transmitted a message to them. Yang Wu killed Zitian and defeated the Xinming elders by himself. The two of them practically received this news at the same time. Shock flashed across their faces. They knew how powerful Zitian was. That guy wasn't much weaker than the two of them. Yet, he was actually killed by Yang Wu. Also, the Xinming elders were all at the half-saint stage. They were powerhouses who could kill a saint if they joined forces. Yet, they were defeated by Yang Wu alone. The other prodigies also received the news one after another from their protectors. All of them were stunned. When Yang Wu landed on the top of the mountain outside the city, the way everyone looked at him changed completely. This guy seemed to have transformed into the emperor of this world, looking down at them from high above. Suddenly, they had an impulse to kneel down. Fortunately, their willpower was strong enough, and they quickly shook off this feeling. Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin landed not far from Yang Wu, and their emotions became complicated. If things went wrong, they might really lose this battle, getting scared before the battle even started. This was a reflection of their inner thoughts. I am the future patriarch of the Xiao Yao sect. How can I be scared just because of some news? Yang Wu is nothing. Xia Zixio overcame the fear in his heart, and a storm swept out from his body. It was as though the space was being torn apart by the wind. No matter who it is, they have to lower their heads in front of me. Pan Xiaoxin was also a confident woman. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to become the previous holy maiden of the 100-Flower sect. Now, she was also a strong contender for the position of sect leader. The aura she released was completely different from Xia Zixio's. It was as if a strange flower was blooming on her body, and a faint fragrance filled the air. Yang Wu, you have to be careful of my senior sister. She is fused with a delicate fragrance flower. Its fragrance can mesmerize all opponents. Shi Wenmei warned. In an instant, the 100-Flower sect's prodigies looked at her with anger. Pan Xiaoxin especially wanted to slap Shi Wenmei's mouth. It was a big taboo to speak of someone else's ultimate skill before a battle. They were from the same sect. It seemed that Shi Wenmei and Pan Xiaoxin's relationship wasn't good. Shi Wenmei covered her mouth and said innocently, "I'm sorry, senior sister. I didn't mean to say it." Shi Wenmei, after I deal with him, I'll deal with you. Pan Xiaoxin angrily cursed. She stomped her foot and turned into a blur as she charged towards Yang Wu. Xia Zixio also moved at this moment. He stepped into the air, and his steps were incomparably natural. This was the carefree sect's carefree steps. One step allowed one to ascend to the highest heavens, and one step allowed one to descend to the lowest depths. The delicate flower bloomed. The carefree sword finger. The two of them used powerful killing moves right from the start, not giving Yang Wu a chance to catch his breath. The two of them were worthy of being highly ranked on the prediction list. The battle chi they released was comparable to that of a half-sage. Behind them, the image of a dragon swayed, reaching a height of 10,000 feet. One of the flowers emitted waves of fragrance. Just as Shi Wenmei said, it could mesmerize anyone. The other sword finger was faintly discernible. It was difficult to track its trajectory, but its lethality wasn't just for show. The two of them could defeat a half-sage. Unfortunately, their opponent was Yang Wu, a young man who couldn't be judged by common sense. The fragrance of the delicate flower could affect others, but it couldn't affect Yang Wu. The finger light couldn't escape his eyes either. He kicked out continuously, and a storm appeared between heaven and earth. Whoosh! Wind God's kick. The power of this talent drove the power of the wind in this part of the world, and the power it created was like a natural disaster. In an instant, it shattered the attacks of the two people. Pan Xiaoxin and Xia Zixio's faces were filled with disbelief. They were forced to increase their strength to block the storm-like leg light. Bang! Bang! Yang Wu's kick was too fast and too fierce. It mercilessly kicked Pan Xiaoxin's lower abdomen, and she was kicked down the hill. Xia Zixio didn't have it easy either. His shoulder was kicked, and his whole arm was almost crippled. He was in so much pain that he couldn't stop gasping. However, they wouldn't admit defeat so easily. Even if Yang Wu's power was very strong, their foundation was more than that. Delicate flowers were everywhere. After Pan Xiaoxin bounced up from the ground, a sea of flowers was born with her as the center. This sea of flowers was different from the others, and it actually existed. The delicate flowers came alive, and the dense fragrance could mesmerize saints. Moreover, the petals danced like butterflies as they crazily flooded towards Yang Wu. This was Pan Xiaoxin's powerful palm force, and it could challenge the strength of a first-grade Starmark Realm expert. This was her true battle strength. Yang Wu's wind god's leg power was broken, and there was an even stronger power attacking toward him. Xia Zixio also drew his sword and slashed out like a meteor. He was one with his sword, and the extreme speed of the sword made it impossible for others to capture its existence. Carefree extreme speed. Among all the martial artists in the world, only speed was unbeatable. The Carefree sect cultivated the Tao of carefree, and it was also the fastest way to cultivate. Xiao had already touched the threshold of the extreme speed sword Tao, and even ordinary saints wouldn't be able to sense its existence if they didn't pay attention. This was the true strength of those who entered the top 500 on the prediction list. The surrounding prodigies stared at the battlefield. They realized that they couldn't keep up with the speed of the two people's attacks, and they understood how big the gap between them was. They were in the same realm, but different battle strength. Yang Wu could be considered to have seen how strong the top monsters were. They all had the power to kill saints. If Yang Wu was still in the dragon transformation realm, then he might not be their match unless he used his trump card. Fortunately, Yang Teha brought him into the dragon tomb, which helped him raise his strength by 2 levels, allowing him to catch up to the top monsters. So he wasn't afraid of them at all. You guys are not bad. Stay and listen to Junior Sister Qingjing's orders. Yang Wu said faintly, and increased the power of his wind god's leg. The wind and clouds were stirred up by him, and the space was almost torn apart. Rumble, rumble. The 3 waves of power crazily collided, and waves of explosions rang out. After a while, only the storm was still wreaking havoc, and the other forces had already disappeared. Soon, 2 miserable figures were ejected from the storm, and the smell of blood permeated the air. You've lost, the uninjured youth announced. The 2 people were smashed in different places, and there were many leg prints on their bodies. If it wasn't for the protection of the sacred armor, they would have been seriously injured. They found it hard to believe that Yang Wu had such powerful battle strength. It's over just like that? Mei Ziheo muttered with his eyes wide open. Saint Master Yang Wu is too strong. He should be in the Star Rune realm. This might be an unfair battle. Someone else said, No, I clearly sense the heavenly dragon Jade token on him. He must still be in the dragon transformation realm. No saint can hold the heavenly dragon Jade token now. This is the rule. Someone retorted, if he's still in the dragon transformation realm, then doesn't his strength have the ability to enter the top 100? Someone asked. We chose to follow Saint Master Yang Wu. It can't be wrong. Yang Wu displayed his strength and shocked the prodigies. Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin were also convinced of their defeat. Pan Xiaoxin regretted it on the spot. I don't want to be the leader anymore, but I can't accept that little nun as the leader. Pan Xiaoxin threw down this sentence and prepared to leave with the girls from 100 Flower Sect. Senior sister leaving like this will damage our 100 Flower Sect's reputation. Sherwin Mei jumped out again. Sherwin Mei, don't think that you can provoke me again and again just because someone is protecting you. Pan Xiaoxin turned around and glared at Sherwin Mei. I'm just stating a fact. When you accepted the challenge, it meant that you were willing to accept any result. If you win, you want to be the leader, but if you lose, you want to leave. Our 100 Flower Sect has always valued our words above all else. Aren't you publicly ruining our reputation? Sherwin Mei's words were like knives, piercing Pan Xiaoxin's heart. Pan Xiaoxin's expression was ugly. She hated Sherwin Mei, but she didn't want to be entangled with her. She would remember this and settle it later. It's not impossible for you to leave, but take out all your jade tags. Yang Wu appeared in front of Pan Xiaoxin's group and said indifferently, Yang Wu, you know that I'm from 100 Flower Sect. Pan Xiaoxin looked at Yang Wu arrogantly and reminded him, So what? Take out your jade tags and let you leave. Yang Wu replied indifferently. Pan Xiaoxin was furious. She said softly, You're now on the wanted list. Becoming enemies with our 100 Flower Sect is unwise. You better think carefully. Looks like you haven't been beaten enough. Yang Wu said. His figure flashed, and in the blink of an eye, he appeared next to Pan Xiaoxin and raised his hand to slap her. Pa! Chapter 10:16. What did it mean to have tender feelings for the fair sex? Yang Wu didn't seem to know this word. He slapped Pan Xiaoxin's cute and beautiful face. The crisp sound of the slap startled everyone around them. Slap, slap. Yang Wu didn't stop there. as he continued to slap Pan Xiaoxin until she was completely dumbfounded. Ever since she was young, she had never been abused and wronged like this. Yet Yang Wu was so cruel. Her companion next to her shouted, "Don't even think about hurting our senior sister." She pulled out her sword and stabbed it with all her might. A sword phantom aimed straight for Yang Wu's heart. The other girls also attacked at the same time. They didn't dare to hold back. Yang Wu was too strong. If they held back, they would be the ones to die. Yang Wu didn't even need to fight back. The black tortoise armor on his body floated up, creating a powerful defensive force that reflected their attacks back. Aya! Several screams were heard. The girls from Bai Hua sect all had their arms hurt from the rebound of their own attacks. Then, Yang Wu raised his hand again. "Don't think I don't hit women." Following Yang Wu's voice, another series of slaps was heard. Yang Wu really didn't have any tender feelings for the fairer sex, beating the girls from Bai Hua sect silly. "Young master, please forgive them." Yang Karen finally couldn't help but plead for them. After all, they were all from the same sect, so Yang Wu beating her martial uncles in front of everyone didn't seem too good. Shi Mei, on the other hand, looked like she wanted to see the world burn, saying, "Forgive what they deserved it." Yang Wu still stopped and coldly said, "Leave or hand over the jade tablet." "Aya, I'm going to kill you." Pan Xiaoxin angrily glared at Yang Wu and screamed like she had gone mad, tearing apart a saint decree. A ray of saint power appeared here, striking towards Yang Wu. Just as Pan Xiaoxin thought that the power of the saint decree could kill Yang Wu, she found that Yang Wu threw out a powerful punch, directly shattering the power of the saint decree. Damn, this is too crazy. Yang Wu really has the power to kill a saint. He even shattered the saint decree. No wonder Saint Master Yang Wu could enter the top 1,000 on the wanted list. His battle strength is unparalleled. Looks like Saint Master Yang Wu has a chance of becoming one of the top 10 Dragon Kings. Top 10 is unlikely, but he's definitely in the top 50. The various prodigies were increasingly optimistic about Yang Wu. The top 100 of the Heavenly Dragon leaderboard were extremely valuable. All of them had the battle prowess to slay a saint. Yang Wu being ranked in the top 100 was already the greatest praise they could give him. Pan Xiaoxin was slapped by Yang Wu again. This time, her face was almost broken. It was too miserable. Yang Wu was really ruthless. He didn't try to reason with the other party, and the other party didn't seem to be a reasonable woman, so he used his fist to talk. Pan Xiaoxin cried and admitted defeat. She felt that Yang Wu was sent down by the heavens to punish her. In the past, even if she met a powerful enemy, the other party wouldn't treat her so roughly. However, after she was beaten up by Yang Wu Kuang, not only did she not have the slightest bit of hatred in her heart, she even started to like this overbearing man a little. Wasn't this the Prince Charming of her dreams? "Yang Wu, you're so strong." Pan Xiaoxin covered her red and swollen face and said softly. This time, Yang Wu was dumbfounded. This woman seemed to be a little crazy. Others didn't understand Pan Xiaoxin, but Shi Mei knew her the best. She rushed over and hugged Yang Wu, saying, "You shameless woman, you're not allowed to have any ideas about my man." "Ahaha, is he your man? Then you'll have to watch him closely. I think I also like him." Pan Xiaoxin smiled and said. Her face was swollen, so her smile was a bit scary. "Are all the women in Bai Hua sect abnormal?" Yang Wu broke free from Shi Mei's hug and asked in return. "How can a bunch of lonely and thirsty women be normal?" Shi Mei asked in return. At this point, Yang Wu was completely defeated. He felt like he had to make Yang Karen leave Bai Hua sect, so she wouldn't become an abnormal woman like them. After Yang Wu dealt with the women of Bai Hua sect, Xia Zixio didn't dare to act rashly and expressed his willingness to support Qing Jing as the leader. Mei Zihao and the other Heaven's favorites also expressed their willingness to follow Qing Jing's orders. Just like that, the 40 Heaven's favorites with Jade tokens formed an alliance. Besides them, there were another 70 Heaven's favorites without Jade tokens, but they were also willing to form an alliance. They only hoped that by following the group, they'd be able to get a Jade token and have a chance to participate in the battle between the Dragon and Phoenix. At this point, Qing Jing couldn't refuse anymore. Ning Xin also encouraged Qing Jing to accept Yang Wu's kindness. All right, I'll be your leader. If there's anything, you'll have to listen to senior brother Yang Wu's orders. Qing Jing expressed her stance. After hearing her words, the Heaven's favorites all had strange expressions on their faces. They all thought to themselves, what a tactful little nun. They all understood that Qing Jing was only a puppet leader that Yang Wu had raised, and Qing Jing was also willing to do the same, which was why they had such thoughts. Yang Wu didn't think the same way as Qing Jing, so he said seriously in front of everyone, Junior sister Qing Jing, you're the leader. We'll do whatever you say. I'm willing to be your first guardian, benefactor Yang Wu. Do you really think so? Ning Xin asked from the side. Of course, junior sister Qing Jing is my savior. Without her, I'd probably be dead already, Yang Wu nodded. Senior brother Yang Wu, you're too serious. You've also saved me several times, Qing Jing hurriedly responded. Everyone present understood the relationship between Yang Wu and Qing Jing. It turned out that she was his savior, so everything Yang Wu had done could be explained. They began to admire Yang Wu's loyalty. No matter who was the leader, their group had gathered together and had a trace of confidence. At least they didn't have to worry about others easily remembering their jade pendants. This was the power of unity. The group returned to the Scarlet Sky restaurant and drank together before leaving for the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. The nun didn't drink, so she could only drink tea in place of wine with everyone. Qing Jing wasn't good at socializing. Fortunately, Ning Xin was there. She helped Qing Jing to socialize as a leader. Yang Wu was in a very good mood. After drinking with everyone, he came to Qing Jing's side to drink tea with her. When facing Yang Wu, Qing Jing's state of mind was a little chaotic. She didn't dare to look at Yang Wu directly. Even she didn't know what was going on. Junior sister Qing Jing, you don't have to feel any pressure in your heart. Just follow your heart and instruct them. Yang Wu softly comforted Qing Jing. Can I really? Qing Jing was a little nervous. Of course you can. You're the kindest person I've ever met. The heavens will treat every kind person well. As long as you follow your heart, the heavens will also take care of you. Yang Wu looked at Qing Jing and said with incomparable sincerity. After meeting Yang Wu's eyes, Qing Jing's heart instantly calmed down. She put her palms together and solemnly said, Thank you, senior brother Yang Wu. I'll do my best. Qing Jing didn't want to disappoint Yang Wu. She saw the sincere encouragement in Yang Wu's eyes. She felt that she couldn't disappoint him. The next day, their team called Jing Wu headed towards the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Although there were many places in the Scarlet Sky City that attracted them to explore, time waited for no one. There was still some time before the Dragon Phoenix Abyss opened. If they delayed any longer, they were afraid that it would affect their journey. None of them wanted to miss the grand event that happened once every 50 years. With the help of the spatial gate, they quickly rushed to the city near the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. On the way, Yang Wu didn't have a moment of peace. The prodigies in the team kept loitering in front of him, asking him all sorts of questions. It made him feel like he was going to explode. Say, Master Yang Wu, are you really only 24 years old this year? Could it be a false report? Say, Master Yang Wu, don't help me refine a star pill. I'll gather the herbs and give you a reward. Deputy Leader Yang Wu, how did you cultivate? Why is your battle strength so abnormal? Can you give me some pointers? Yang Wu, what do you think of my appearance? Can I be your wife? In the face of this bombardment of questions, Yang Wu still had the patience to answer at first. Later on, he almost couldn't hold it in anymore. Fortunately, Sherwin Mei helped him out. Sherwin Mei was a lively woman, and her words were bold and unrestrained. All the male prodigies were interested in her, but she seemed to want to refuse, so they couldn't eat her even if they wanted to. What made them the most oppressed was that every time this woman brought up some explosive topic about yin and yang intercourse, she would always mention how powerful our Yang Wu is, which would immediately erase all their thoughts. No matter how bold they were, they wouldn't dare to have any ideas about Yang Wu's woman. Yang Wu wanted to explain, but seeing that this woman was blocking those guys for him, he just let her be. Yang Wu just quietly stayed by Qing Jing's side and helped her enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. If it was possible, he would protect her just like he did in the broken space. He definitely didn't want anything to happen to her. Yang Wu was guarding Qing Jing, while Yang Karen was guarding Yang Wu. To her, following by the young master's side and serving him was something she should do. Pan Xiaoxin seemed to have not been beaten up enough by Yang Wu. After her face recovered, she took the initiative to approach Yang Wu. The way she looked at Yang Wu was filled with tenderness. Even an idiot could see that she was interested in Yang Wu. Pan Xiaoxin wasn't as sexy as Sherwin Mei, nor as pure as Yang Karen. She also wasn't as otherworldly as Qing Jing. However, she had the cute face of a young girl. She looked like she was 16 or 17 years old. If she didn't throw a tantrum, she was really very cute and likable. She was different from her usual self in front of Yang Wu. Her words were gentle and pleasant, and her actions were delicate and shy. She was like a young girl who hadn't experienced anything. The more one looked at her, the more one liked her. Even Xia Zixio was mesmerized by her. However, Yang Wu was like a block of wood, ignoring her. Moreover, he would occasionally speak ill of Pan Xiaoxin. Get away from me. This young master is annoyed just by looking at you. Not only was Pan Xiaoxin not angry, she even replied with a face full of admiration. So manly. I like it. Another crazy woman. Yang Wu covered his forehead with his hand, looking as if he had been defeated. Xia Zixio was even more upset. He angrily said to the two women beside him, "Can you two stop showing off? This young master likes cute girls." Chapter 10:17. As the battle of the dragon and phoenix drew closer, the 10,000 Sky Dragon Jade tokens and 10,000 Sky Phoenix Jade tokens appeared. The rankings on the prediction list were constantly changing, and the competition was extremely intense. Some people were promoted, and some were eliminated. Incidents of geniuses dying could happen at any time in the various realms. My Qilin son was killed. What a bastard. My young master is dead. How could he be dead? He's the most outstanding genius in our family in 100 years. Sister, you have to hold on. Didn't you say you wanted to obtain the Emperor Phoenix position on the Heavenly Phoenix rankings? How could you die just like that? I can't accept it. I can't accept it. My Sky Dragon Jade token. The battle of the Dragon Transformation Realm within 100 years. Those who could reach the Dragon Transformation Realm at this age were all martial geniuses. They had the chance to transcend mortality and become saints in the future. Unfortunately, they died young because of the battle of the Dragon and Phoenix. It was definitely a sad thing. The battle of the Great Tao was like the sand being washed away by the waves. These geniuses were born at the wrong time. They encountered geniuses who were stronger than them. If they died, then so be it. Those geniuses who stepped on their corpses would be even stronger and would become an overlord in the future. The geniuses of the various major forces shown in the Transcendental Realm. For example, the first Hall King of the Longevity Palace, the son of the King of Hell from the Yama Palace, Jin Juezi from the Tianli Temple, and so on. They were all strong contenders for the Dragon Emperor's position. They had been firmly occupying the top 3 spots on the prediction list. There is also the third princess of the Xianyuan clan, the previous saintess of Maunamei, and the female geniuses of the Purple Firmament Palace. They were all influential figures on the Heavenly Phoenix rankings. Other than them, there were many powerful and peerless geniuses. They were all waiting for the real battle to begin before they could amaze the world. Most of these people were geniuses from major forces. There was nothing they could do about it. The major forces had a deep foundation and astonishing cultivation resources. Their selection of disciples was also extremely harsh. The geniuses they nurtured were all extremely outstanding. It was reasonable for them to occupy half of the rankings. Even so, there were still some monstrous geniuses with ordinary backgrounds who displayed astonishing talent and fought their way into the top 100 of the prediction list. They didn't have the superior conditions of the geniuses of the major forces, but their talent was equally astonishing. Through their own efforts, they carved out a path that belonged to themselves. These geniuses from all parts of the Transcendental Realm rushed towards the dragon phoenix abyss. From time to time, one could see chariots, battleships, or powerful mounts in the sky. The people sitting in these chariots were all handsome and charming men and women. The closer they got to the dragon phoenix abyss, the more intense the battles were, and the more people died. As the host of the Battle of the Dragons and Phoenixes, Wudong Mountain sent out many disciples to save the dying and heal the injured. Wudong Mountain prides itself on chivalry. Their praises are not self-proclaimed, but recognized by the people of the world. Those heaven's favorites whose jade tokens had been snatched away but had not died were treated by them one by one. Those innocent civilians who had been implicated in the battle were saved by them one by one. Those heaven's favorites who had been defeated in the battle were also comforted by them. Many people treated the Wudong Mountain as a refuge. When they encountered danger, they would hide in the Wudong Mountain. No one dared to cause trouble in the Wudong Mountain. Among them, Wudong's most famous, Wudong's 7 heroes, were even more respected. The 7 of them had even entered the top 100 of the prediction list, and no one could shake their position. The Wudong's 7 heroes were all dragons and phoenixes among men. They carried the Wudong Mountain's chivalrous motto, upholding justice, eliminating the strong, and helping the weak. Their sword skills were brilliant, and they had received extremely high praise. The first sword, Song Qing, was the oldest and most mature. He was the chief disciple of the Wudong sect leader, and was the one who had the potential to take over the position of sect leader in the future. The second sword, Yu Hong, was also the disciple of the Wudong sect leader. His talent was the lowest among the 7 swords, but he trained the hardest and became a late bloomer. The third sword, Ba Jinxiong, was the most forthright and righteous. He had once been seriously injured in order to save someone, and in the end, he gave his only healing pill to someone else. The fourth sword, Yifeng Ming, was the one who had the deepest understanding of Wudong's sword skills. He knew 49 sword skills, but his cultivation was too diverse, so he did not comprehend his own way of the sword. However, his battle strength was very strong. The fifth sword, Zhang Mingshan, was known as the gentleman's sword of the 7 swords. He was the most handsome and had excellent comprehension. The Wudong sect Grand Elder had high hopes for him. The sixth sword, Yinbo, was the most low-key person. He did not like to talk much, but he fought the hardest in battle. He was also known as the Daredevil. The seventh sword, Mo Wudi, had joined Wudong for the shortest time, but his cultivation talent was the best. He had the potential to become the strongest of the 7 swords. The 7 swords of Wudong each had their own merits. As long as they did not meet a powerful Saint Realm creature, they could defeat all opponents. Now that the battle between the dragon and the phoenix had begun, more and more people were getting injured. The 7 swords split up to help their companions save the injured geniuses. The heroes of Wudong were famous all over the world, and many people would give them face. However, while they were saving people, they would also provoke some enemies. There were many evil people who wanted to get rid of the 7 swords of Wudong and steal their jade plates. On this day, the 5th sword, Zhang Mingshan, was ambushed in a canyon near the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Zhang Mingshan had just saved a woman who was ranked very high on the Heavenly Phoenix list, Yin Suxian. Because of this, he offended the people of the House of Bloodfiend. The people of the House of Bloodfiend would not let it go. They gathered their companions to surround and kill Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian. What bullsh asterisk T 7 swords of Wudong. You only saved her because of her beauty. If you know what's good for you, quickly hand over that bitch and the jade plate. Otherwise, this will be your burial ground. A young man from the House of Bloodfiend rode on a blood eagle and pointed at a man and a woman. The young man from the House of Bloodfiend had a strong background. He was second only to the young master of the House of Bloodfiend, Lai Bao. He had a majestic figure, wore a set of battle armor, and held a sickle in his hand. His entire body was emitting a thick blood fiend chi. There were 8 people beside Lai Bao, and each of them had an extraordinary aura. They were all riding on their own mounts, and they split up in different directions to lock onto the man and woman in front of them. This man and woman were Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian. Zhang Mingshan was not particularly handsome, but he was very good-looking. He had a masculine face and looked to be around 30 years old. He carried a mountain sword on his back and protected Yin Suxian behind him. Yin Suxian was a very beautiful woman. Her facial features were exquisite, her figure was tall, and her curves were perfect. She looked pale and powerless now, which added a strange sense of beauty to her. Yin Suxian's background was not small. The power she belonged to had a conflict with the House of Bloodfiend. This was also the reason why the people from the House of Bloodfiend wanted to kill her. If not for Zhang Mingshan's help, she would be doomed. If you want to kill her, you have to step over my dead body. Sword chi floated around Zhang Mingshan's body. Bursts of earthy yellow energy lingered around him. There was a real dragon shadow roaring behind him. This was a dragon shadow that was 3,000 feet long. It could be seen how strong his battle chi was. Seems like you're stupid. She is the demon girl of the sky, severing sect. Are you really going to protect her? Lai Bao shouted. I don't care which sect she is from. Today, I will save her until the end. Zhang Mingshan said righteously. Good, very good. Let's kill them together. Lai Bao did not plan to talk nonsense with Zhang Mingshan. He gave the order to kill Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian. Miss Yin, when I'm fighting with them, you can run away. Zhang Mingshan transmitted a message to Yin Suxian, who was behind him. You don't have to care about me. Yin Suxian replied. I'm a chivalrous person. Why would I be afraid of death? Zhang Mingshan replied with a clear voice. He raised his mountain breaker and attacked. Zhang Mingshan was indeed one of the 7 heroes of Wudang. With a slash of his sword, the mountains trembled. A strong gravitational field shrouded this area. Waves of tyrannical sword chi attacked the people from the House of Bloodfiend. Zhang Mingshan's attack was bold and powerful. It was filled with righteousness and awe-inspiring aura. There was no trace of fear. That figure was very mighty. Yin Suxian, who was watching from behind, was moved. She murmured, If you don't die, I will chase after you. Zhang Mingshan did not hear these words. He was using all his strength to block the 9 people from the House of Bloodfiend. He did not allow anyone to break through his defense to chase after Yin Suxian. Yin Suxian was a decisive woman. She turned and left. She was hit by the Bloodfiend chi. Her abdomen was pierced, and she had lost too much blood. It was impossible for her to use martial arts in a short period of time. If she stayed, it would only affect Zhang Mingshan. Furthermore, if she left, it might reduce the pressure on Zhang Mingshan. She was a smart woman. She was not like the other women who wanted to die or stay behind to burden Zhang Mingshan. As expected, when the people from the House of Bloodfiend saw her running away, they became anxious. Zhang Mingshan, how can you fight against 9 people alone? I alone am enough to kill you. The rest of you continue to chase after Yin Suxian. Lai Bao roared. He held the sickle in his hand and jumped down from the Blood Eagle. A sickle that was like a moon slashed towards Zhang Mingshan. The power of this blade was comparable to the power of a rank 1-star mark. This was the combat power of a top-notch monster. Zhang Mingshan looked at this blade. He held the mountain breaker with both hands and shouted, Hans Han, sword style. When this sword slashed out, it was like a lone protruding mountain peak. The sharp mountain peak was like a sword as it collided with the blade of the moon. Rumble, rumble. The 2 powerful forces collided, causing waves of profound chi storms. The saber light and sword shadows continued to intertwine and lasted for a long time before disappearing. Lai Bang was pushed back, but Zhang Mingshan still had the energy to deal with the others. His heavy mountain sword was very strong, and after continuously slashing out, 3 people were heavily injured by his sword beams, while the others also suffered different injuries. Zhang Mingshan was indeed one of the 7 heroes of Wudang. His sword chi was boundless, and his combat power was strong. Lai Bao attacked again. He did not believe that he would lose to Zhang Mingshan. Under Lai Bao's entanglement, 2 people from the House of Bloodfiend broke through Zhang Mingshan's blockade and chased after Yin Suxian. Zhang Mingshan's expression changed. He wanted to turn back to block them, but was hit by Lai Bao's heavy attack. His back was slashed by a blade. His armor cracked, and a hidden force entered his body, causing him to be heavily injured and his combat power to drop. At this moment, Insuxian actually turned around and said sternly, "Lai Bao, I will go with you. Let him go. He, the heads of the 7 heroes of Wudang, are worth tens of millions of saint stones. Zhang Mingshan's head is mine." Lai Bao sneered and increased the power of his attack on Zhang Mingshan. At this moment, a group of people happened to pass by. Chapter 1018. The sunset was very beautiful. The setting sun hid in the clouds on the horizon. Thousands of rays of light penetrated through the clouds, dyeing the entire horizon red. The earth was also dyed red. Looking at the mountains, looking at the water, looking at the trees, they were all plated with a layer of red makeup. It was too beautiful to behold. Suddenly, there was blood spilled, adding a hint of desolation to the sky. The setting sun was infinitely beautiful, but it was close to dusk. Lai Bao, if you dare to touch a single hair on his head, do you believe that I will perish together with you? Insuxian, it's useless to threaten me. Use whatever trump cards you have. I'm not afraid of you. This place is not far from the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. If you really kill him, the people from Wudong will definitely not let you go. Hee, if you die, who will know that we killed him? Zhang Mingshan was distracted because of Insuxian and was severely injured. Even if he had the Imperial Edict, he could only save himself and not Insuxian. Moreover, the other party was not lacking in Imperial Edicts, unless he called the Sect Protector to appear. If that was the case, he might lose the qualification to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. The rule of the battle between the dragon and the phoenix was that no one could use any heavenly items. Insuxian was in despair. She felt that even if she lost the qualification to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, she had to protect Zhang Mingshan. Zhang Mingshan had the same thought. In his opinion, saving people was more important than entering the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Just as the two of them were about to use their trump cards, a group of people came from afar. Lai Bao and the rest sensed it. They did not want the situation to change. They were prepared to kill Zhang Mingshan and Insuxian. However, the situation seemed to be different. The people who came were meddling in other people's business. Senior Yang Wu, it seems that the people from Wudong are injured. We should help them. A gentle voice sounded. Another voice replied, "If you think we should help, we will definitely help. Then let's go over as soon as possible. We can't let anything happen to them." Therefore, the group of people who passed by rushed towards Lai Bao and the rest. Someone among them shouted, "Have mercy. We are from the House of Bloodfiend. Don't seek your own death." Lai Bao replied. At the same time, the people from the House of Bloodfiend attacked Zhang Mingshan and Insuxian. It seems that the battle between dragons and phoenixes has nothing to do with us. Zhang Mingshan murmured bitterly. Just as he was about to use his trump card, a figure flashed past like the wind and appeared beside him and Insuxian, bringing them away from the danger zone. "Do you really want to die?" Lai Bao shouted angrily when he saw Zhang Mingshan and Insuxian being rescued. "I'm sorry, our leader said to save them." The young man who saved Zhang Mingshan and Insuxian smiled faintly. "Ba, where it is possible to let people off, one should spare them. Benefactors, please let them off." Qing Jing stepped forward and bowed to Lai Bao. "Nuns! Hengshan sect's stinky nuns. How dare you meddle in our Holocaust sex affairs? Even if your 5 mountain sex people came, they wouldn't dare to be so presumptuous. Quickly send the 2 of them over. Otherwise, I'll teach you a lesson." Lai Bao roared furiously. "Evil disciple of the House of Bloodfiend, don't talk nonsense." Ning Xian stood out and shouted, "Stinky nuns, don't think that you can scare us with your numbers. Don't meddle in other people's affairs. Send them over, and we'll let this matter rest." Lai Bao said again. He looked at the people in front of him and thought to himself, "These guys are all working together to listen to the nuns' orders? That's not possible." Lai Bao sensed that some of the geniuses in front of him had jade tokens. They were all geniuses. Moreover, there were so many of them. If they were to fight, the few of them wouldn't be enough. He could only use his sex name to scare them. Are the Holocaust sex people that great? I don't think I'm afraid of them, Xia Zixio said with some disdain. Lai Bao, do you remember me? Pan Xiaoxin looked at Lai Bao provocatively. Xia Zixio, Pan Xiaoxin, why are the two of you together? Lai Bao looked to his left and right, his face filled with shock. Xia Zixio was from the Xiaoyao sect. His position in the Xiaoyao sect was similar to Lai Bao in the Holocaust sect. The two of them had fought before, and it was a draw. Pan Xiaoxin was from the Hundred Flower sect. This woman looked like a young girl, but her strength was abnormal. You can't interfere with our matters. Hurry up and get lost. There's nothing for you to do here, Xia Zixio said unhappily. Along the way, he was depressed because he couldn't become the leader. He was even more depressed because Pan Xiaoxin had been trying to please Yang Wu. Who's the leader? Come out and talk to me. We definitely won't back down from this. Lai Bao insisted. From his point of view, the leader of these people must be one of them. Leader, he wants to talk to you. You talk to him. Pan Xiaoxin looked at Qing Jing and said, All right, I don't want to interfere in this matter. Leader, do as you see fit. Xia Zixio went with the flow. They didn't want Qing Jing to be the leader at all. Without Yang Wu, they wouldn't have acknowledged her. Qing Jing hurriedly said, Benefactor, let them go. Everyone in Wudang is a chivalrous person. You can't kill them. You little nun is their leader? Lai Bao said with a face of surprise. Yes, can you let them go? I don't want to be your enemy. Qing Jing said with a bit of nervousness. Haha, I'm dying of laughter. Do you really believe that this little nun is their leader? Lai Bao laughed and asked his companions. There's nothing wrong with my head. If this little nun can be their leader, then I can be their emperor. Someone replied with a cold smile. Maybe because this little nun looks pure and cute, they pushed her to be the leader. Anyway, I'm very tempted. I'm willing to be the man behind her, someone said with a wretched smile. Leader, you should give the order to teach them a lesson. The young man who saved Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian said faintly. It's better to squash enmity than keep it alive. Forget it, let's go. Qing Jing shook her head and said, Then let's spare them this time. The young man suppressed the anger in his heart and said, The others were not satisfied with Qing Jing's way of handling things. In their opinion, they should have rushed forward and killed Lai Bao and the rest. Qing Jing wanted to let it go, but Lai Bao didn't. He shouted, Get them back. Whoever dares to make a move will be the enemy of the House of Blood Fiend. A few people beside Lai Bao rushed towards Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian at the same time. The two of them were recuperating and tried to recover their strength to protect themselves. It was impossible for them to recover in such a short time. Fortunately, Qing Jing shouted at the crucial moment, Stop them. However, only a few people from the Hongshan sect obeyed her order. The others didn't make a move. A few nuns raised their weapons and attacked the people from the House of Blood Fiend, stopping them from hurting Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian. The young man who was protecting Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian saw the situation and couldn't help but say, You don't even listen to your leader. Are you trying to rebel? His words were still very powerful. Mei Zihao raised his plum spear and rushed out and shouted, Since we're in an alliance, we should act like an alliance. We can't be a joke. After Mei Zihao made his move, the other geniuses finally made their move. Are you going to be the enemy of the House of Blood Fiend? Lai Bao asked anxiously. The young man said again, Whoever can snatch the jade pendant from them can have it. The young man's words seemed to be more effective than the leader's. In the next moment, a large number of geniuses rushed out. There were more than 100 of them, and all of them were in the dragon transformation realm. On the other hand, Lai Bao and the others only had 9 people. There was a huge difference in strength. When some of the geniuses made their move, the people from the House of Blood Fiend panicked. Lai Bao panicked too. He said again, Don't mess around. Otherwise, you'll all regret it. Hand over your jade pendants, and we can spare your lives. Someone exclaimed. Yes, the people from the House of Blood Fiend are all evil. Snatching their jade pendants is justified. Someone else shouted. More than half of the people present didn't have jade pendants. Under such circumstances, everyone went crazy. Although the House of Blood Fiend was scary, there were also people from the Xiaoyao sect and the Baiwa sect in their alliance. These were all powerful forces. The House of Blood Fiend wasn't that scary. Moreover, the saints couldn't interfere. Lai Bao was completely panicking. As he fended off the geniuses, he shouted, I'll remember you. Hurry up and stop. Otherwise, you'll regret it. Remember your sister. Do you really think the House of Bloodfiend is awesome? That person replied rudely. The geniuses weren't Lai Bao's match. However, there were a total of 5 to 6 of them surrounding Lai Bao. There was nothing to be afraid of. The people from the House of Bloodfiend should be killed by everyone. Someone else agreed. All right. I'll remember you. Don't let me find you in the future. Lai Bao was filled with hatred. After he said those words, he tore an imperial edict. Accompanied by his saint power, he quickly escaped. The other people from the House of Bloodfiend were tragic. They also had imperial edicts. However, before they could tear them, they were killed by the power of the geniuses. Out of the 8 people from the House of Bloodfiend, 3 of them had jade pendants. The 3 of them were elated when they got their jade pendants. The other geniuses were jealous. Some even wanted to snatch their jade pendants. After all, the number of jade pendants was limited. Moreover, such an opportunity was hard to come by. If they didn't get their jade pendants, everything would be in vain. Qing Jing quickly advised those geniuses who wanted to snatch their jade pendants. They couldn't affect the unity of the group. However, no one listened to her. They still wanted to snatch the jade pendants from their companions. At this moment, the young man who had been protecting Zhang Mingshan and Yin Sushin flew out. With a slap, he sent one of them flying far away. At the same time, he scolded, "If you don't listen to the leader, get lost." After pausing for a moment, he looked at the crowd and said, "Next time, whoever doesn't listen to the leader will end up like this." All the Sky Prides silently remembered these words. Chapter 1019. As night fell, the night breeze was chilling. The trees were swaying like ghosts. From time to time, the roars of beasts could be heard. In the wilderness of the canyon, it was chilling. On a flat ground, a group of people were sitting cross-legged and resting. They were the members of Tranquil Marshal. After the conflict with the Holocaust sect and the internal strife caused by the Jade Token, the relationship between this group of people had become much more harmonious. After all, the young man who was not the leader but was stronger than the leader was too strong. They did not dare to act rashly. At this moment, the young man was talking to Qing Jing by the campfire. "Junior sister Qing Jing, you can give orders in the future. I will take responsibility for you if anything happens. Senior brother Yongwu, am I useless? Why do you think so? No matter what happens, I can't handle it well. No one listens to me. That's because you are too kind. Sometimes you should be more unyielding. You have to be angry when you need to be. Otherwise, others will look down on you. Then what should I do?" Through these things, Qing Jing was also thinking about her own way of doing things. She also asked Yang Wu for advice. Yang Wu began to instill in Qing Jing some ideas of the strong. However, he did not want Qing Jing to lose her pure and kind heart. He only wanted her to be more unyielding at certain times so that she would not be bullied by others. Kind people would be bullied. Kind horses would be ridden. This principle had to be understood by Qing Jing. After hearing Yang Wu's words, Qing Jing did not fully understand. In her world of thoughts, she had never thought like Yang Wu. She needed some time to digest it. Zhang Mingshan and Yin Sushin finally recovered. They were both giants among men. Their recovery speed was very fast. The only thing that was difficult for them to deal with was the blood qi. They needed some time to get rid of it. After they recovered, they immediately thanked Yang Wu. Without Yang Wu, they would not have been able to participate in the Battle of the Dragon and Phoenix. Yang Wu, Zhang Mingshan, one of the 7 heroes of Wudong, would like to express his gratitude to you. The Demoness of the Sky Severing Sect would also like to thank you. Sure Wenmei walked over to Yang Wu and said loudly. She was holding a skewer of barbecue in her hand and handed it to Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't stand on ceremony. He took the roast meat and took a bite before replying, "I'll go see them." Yang Wu had already learned from the crowd that the young man was Zhang Mingshan, one of the 7 heroes of Wudong. Yin Sushin was a strong competitor for the previous generation's Saintess of the Sky Severing Sect. Later on, she gave up the position of Saintess for some unknown reason. "I'll accompany you." Shi Wenmei approached Yang Wu and said, "Shi Wenmei, what's the point of always sticking to Yang Wu? She's not interested in you." Pan Xiaoxin walked over and said, "Senior sister Little Xian, little brother Yang Wu, is also not interested in you, so don't think too highly of yourself, okay?" Sure, Mei bluntly replied. While the two of them were arguing, Yang Wu said in a deep voice, "Both of you stay." Yang Wu ignored them and strode towards Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian. "Pan Xiaoxin, are you satisfied now that you've angered little brother Yang Wu and made him leave?" "Sure, Mei, Yang Wu dislikes you for always sticking to him. You're not his cup of tea. You should like a beautiful and cute woman like me." "You shameless old woman. Can you stop pretending to be young here? This is my strength. It's not something a slut like you can learn. Are you guys feeling better?" Yang Wu came to Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian's side and asked. Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian stood up and cupped their hands in front of Yang Wu to express their gratitude. Yang Wu quickly asked them to sit down and talk. Their injuries seemed like they wouldn't be completely healed in a day or two. "Little brother, Mingshan will always remember your kindness for saving my life. If you need my help in the future, just let me know," Zhang Mingshan said seriously. Not only were the people of Wudong chivalrous, they were also people who clearly distinguished between kindness and hatred. Yin Suxian also opened her mouth and said, "This little girl will never forget your kindness." Her words were very pleasant and charming. No matter who heard them, they would feel incomparably pleasant. If you want to thank someone, thank our leader. If she didn't say anything, I might not have done anything, Yang Wu said as he lightly touched the bridge of his nose. The two of them were smart people. They didn't take Yang Wu's words seriously. They knew who was in charge here. "How should I address you, little brother? And where are you from?" "Mingshan will repay you in the future," Zhang Mingshan asked. You could just call me Yang Wu." Yang Wu answered honestly. "Yang Wu, where have I heard this name before?" Zhang Mingshan asked doubtfully. "You're the Holy Elder of the Apothecary Alliance, Yang Wu?" Yin Suxian asked in surprise. "Yes, that's me," Yang Wu answered softly. "You're the youngest top-notch holy apothecary in history, Yang Wu." Zhang Mingshan was also surprised. Hee, that's just a false reputation. Yang Wu's face was a bit hot. Was he really that famous? How could people know who he was just by hearing his name? "I didn't expect that not only are you young, you also have a chivalrous heart. You're truly one of my generation. Please accept Mingshan's greetings," Zhang Mingshan said emotionally. The 7 heroes of Wudang often roamed the underworld. They had heard of the major events of the underworld. For someone as famous as Yang Wu, he had long heard of him. Please don't be like this. The 7 heroes of Wudang are the true heroes. I sincerely admire them. Yang Wu stopped Zhang Mingshan from speaking. Yang Wu had been in the transcendent world for many years. He had paid attention to the matters of the transcendent world. He had indeed heard of the 7 heroes of Wudang. After all, he had once wanted to go to Wudang Mountain, but he had been delayed by other matters. "Saint Master Yang Wu, do you know the saintess of my sect?" Yin Suxian asked from the side. "I have a deep impression of her. Also, thank you for the gift from your sect," Yang Wu replied. A beautiful figure of a demoness appeared in the depths of the sea. It was the saintess that he had once captured. She was indeed unforgettable. Not only was she beautiful, but her combat prowess was also abnormal. He wondered how she was doing now. "She can't forget you. I believe that in a few days, you will be able to meet again," Yin Suxian said with a strange smile. "That's for the best. I just don't know if she really wants to see me." Yang Wu smiled faintly. He then said to Zhang Mingshan, "Brother Mingshan, can we talk alone? I have something to tell you." "Don't call me that. Just call me by my name. You are a Saint Master," Zhang Mingshan said fearfully. Thus, the two of them walked to a place not far away and talked alone. Yin Suxian looked at their backs and seemed to be in deep thought. No one knew what she was thinking about. "I have something here that I want to give to you. I should have sent it back to Wudang sect earlier, but I didn't find the time to do so. It has been delayed until today. I feel guilty," Yang Wu said to Zhang Mingshan solemnly. He took out an interspatial ring and handed it to Zhang Mingshan. Zhang Mingshan did not know what was going on. He took the interspatial ring and looked inside. His body trembled and he asked, "This is?" He saw a set of bones and an interspatial ring left inside. Yang Wu explained to him how he came across the skeleton and the interspatial ring. He came across this skeleton in the territory of the Yiksha tribe in the fragmented space. So it turned out to be the remains of senior brother Zhang, and he really died, boo-hoo. After Zhang Mingshan heard Yang Wu's words, this resolute man could not help but cry bitterly. Many people heard Zhang Mingshan's cries and looked at them. They were puzzled. They wondered if Yang Wu was going to deal with one of the 7 heroes of Wu Dang sect. This is too inhumane. He is still injured. My condolences. Yang Wu did not expect Zhang Mingshan to have such a big reaction. He did not know how to comfort him. After a while, he said these words. In his opinion, the deceased had been dead for a long time. Zhang Mingshan should have recognized the fact long ago. Why was he still so sad? Was he faking it? After a while, Zhang Mingshan took out the interspatial ring left by Zhang En. His mind broke through the restriction of the interspatial ring. He saw that there were all the relics left by Zhang En, and he was sure that they were all Zhang En's relics. He cried even harder. After a long time, Zhang Mingshan stopped crying and bowed to Yang Wu. Thank you, Saint Master Yang Wu, for bringing back my senior brother's remains and relics. You are the benefactor of Wu Dang sect. This is too serious. Yang Wu felt that Zhang Mingshan's reaction was too exaggerated. Zhang Mingshan took a deep breath and said, Saint Master Yang Wu, you may not know this, but senior brother Zhang and was the son of the previous sect leader. He had outstanding talent since he was young, and his character was excellent. He was the founder of the 7 heroes of Wu Dang, and he cared for me even more. My swordsmanship was taught by senior brother Zhang En, but he suddenly disappeared without a trace. The previous sect leader was very sad, and after searching everywhere, he could not find any trace of him. Finally, after calculating that he had fallen, the previous sect leader was disheartened and abdicated his position. This has always been a big matter of our sect, and everyone wants to help the previous sect leader find senior brother Zhang En's body or relics. After hearing this, Yang Wu understood why Zhang Mingshan cried so hard. It turned out that the deceased had a strong background and had a good relationship with Zhang Mingshan. No wonder he cried like this. Since things have come to this, you should restrain your grief. Heal your injuries as soon as possible and send the bones back to Wu Dang sect. Yang Wu comforted. Yes, I will rush back to Wu Dang sect tonight and send senior brother's bones back. Zhang Mingshan said decisively. You're not going to participate in the battle of the Dragon and Phoenix? It's about to start. Yang Wu asked. Senior brother Zhang En's matter is a big matter. The battle of the Dragon and Phoenix is a small matter. Moreover, this is our Wu Dang sect's territory. As long as we hurry, we should still be able to make it. If the battle of the Dragon and Phoenix did not start, we must invite Saint Master Yang Wu to our Wu Dang mountain so that we can thank you for your kindness. Zhang Mingshan said decisively. The battle of the Dragon and Phoenix was such a big matter, but in the face of righteousness, it was not a big deal. He was indeed a man who valued friendship and righteousness. Yang Wu could not help but give Zhang Mingshan a thumbs up at his heart. His impression of him skyrocketed. There will be opportunities to go to Wu Dang Mountain in the future. Yang Wu replied, Then I'll take my leave. Your injuries? I won't die. Chapter 10:20. Yang Wu had finally seen what it meant to be a man who valued friendship and righteousness. Zhang Mingshan was undoubtedly this type of person. For a dead person, for the sex matters, he ignored his injuries and rushed back to Wudong Mountain. This type of man was undoubtedly respected, and Yang Wu was no exception. Zhang Mingshan wanted to leave, and In Suxian also wanted to leave with him. Everyone felt that these two people did not trust them. They were in too much of a hurry to leave when their injuries were just a little better. Yang Wu explained to them that Zhang Mingshan had to return to Wudong Mountain for an urgent matter, so he had to leave now. Yang Wu gave Zhang Mingshan a 3-revolution little profound pill, which could help him quickly recover his injuries and strength. Zhang Mingshan did not stand on ceremony. He took a pill and bid farewell to Yang Wu and the others. Zhang Mingshan also promised Yang Wu that he would come to Yang Wu again. Zhang Mingshan left. In Suxian also left. Why are you following me? Zhang Mingshan turned around and asked In Suxian, "You saved me, and I have yet to repay you." In Suxian flipped her hair and said charmingly, "I, Zhang Mingshan, do not ask for anything in return for saving people. Miss In, let's part ways here." Zhang Mingshan said seriously, "It's your business if you don't ask for anything in return. It's my business if I don't repay you." In Suxian replied, "Saint Master Yang Wu and the others also saved us. Why don't you repay him first?" Zhang Mingshan asked, "Naturally, someone will repay his kindness for me." In Suxian smiled. She paused for a moment and said, "As for your kindness, I will repay it personally. Miss In, you don't have to do this. I really have an urgent matter to attend to and need to return to Wudong Mountain." Zhang Mingshan said seriously again, "You go on your way. I won't hinder you. If that's the case, then I'll leave first." Zhang Mingshan took Yang Wu's medicinal pills and recovered to a good state. He quickly left. In Suxian looked at Zhang Mingshan's figure and said with a smile, "I have my eyes on you. How can I let you leave Wuji Mountain so easily?" Then she sped up and chased after Zhang Mingshan. The matter of the Heavenly Phoenix leaderboard competition was also forgotten by her. As Yang Wu stood up for Qing Jing once again, Jing Wu's people became much more united. Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin no longer ignored Qing Jing and even took the initiative to suggest what to do next. They didn't have many people in tranquility. They only had a few dozen people with jade plates. Compared to many other teams, they were definitely still weak. They needed to recruit more alliance members. Only in this way would their forces continue to grow, and no one would dare to provoke them. Yang Wu felt that their idea was not bad. He suggested that they wait until they were near the Dragon Phoenix Abyss and find his family before calling them to join. Those who hadn't gotten a jade card suggested that they take the jade cards of those who didn't want to join Jingwu. Qing Jing didn't quite agree with the latter suggestion. She was a person who didn't like fighting and killing, and she didn't like to take the initiative to cause trouble. Because of this, Qing Jing still attracted the dissatisfaction of those who didn't have a jade card. Some people secretly discussed leaving the team to find their own jade card. Yang Wu made a statement regarding this matter. If a team took the initiative to cause trouble, they would be given priority to the jade card they obtained. If anyone was still dissatisfied, they could leave. A few people still left the team. They had their own ambitions and weren't willing to be a supporting character. The others didn't leave. They were also looking forward to following Yang Wu to obtain a jade card. Even if they didn't get a jade card, it was worth it to gain Yang Wu's friendship. After all, Yang Wu was a top-notch sage medicine master. Even saints had to kneel before him. At this moment, Pan Xiaoxin suggested, "Yang Wu, why don't you announce your identity? When the time comes, many people will join our Jingwu team." "Pan Xiaoxin, do you want to kill Yang Wu? He's still on the wanted list." Sure, Wenmei objected. "It's the battle of dragons and phoenixes now. There won't be any saints to deal with him. If there were, he wouldn't have been able to accompany us here safely." Pan Xiaoxin replied, "That seems to make sense. However, it's still very dangerous to make it completely public." Sure, Wenmei added, "The Dragon Phoenix Abyss is not far ahead. It doesn't matter whether this matter is made public or not. Those who should know will know, and those who shouldn't know won't matter. Let's speed up." Yang Wu replied indifferently. The Dragon Phoenix Abyss was located in a famous place in the northern Hubei region. There were dozens of large and small mountain ranges there. They constantly intersected and gathered to form a place called the Dragon Vein Phoenix Forest. The Dragon Vein Phoenix Forest referred to the mountain ranges that were shaped like dragons and phoenixes. There was also the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, a forbidden area. It was rumored that a true dragon and a phoenix had fallen here at the same time, forming a place full of evil qi. No living creature dared to set foot here. This time, the battle between the dragons and the phoenixes was held here because on the day of the battle, a place of vitality would be born. It was for the young creatures to barge in and seize the fortune inside. While seizing the fortune, the strongest powerhouse of the young generation would also be determined. Before arriving at the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, everyone had to pass through a large wilderness mountain range. This would be the last chance to fight for the Jade Token. Once they arrived at the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, no one was prepared to fight. In other words, this mountain range was the final battlefield for the Jade Token. After Jing Wu and the others arrived, they had no choice but to be cautious. After all, there were many people with Jade Tokens nearby. They would sense each other. Moreover, many people had formed teams like them. They were all waiting for an opportunity to snatch other people's Jade Tokens and increase the number of people entering the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. There were also spirit demons, foreign races, demons, and many other living creatures. They would all go to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss together. It was inevitable that there would be friction and fighting between the races. In addition, there were many living creatures in these mountains. They were also extremely powerful. They would attack at any time and choose to devour people. In short, there were still many variables and dangers waiting for the geniuses in front of the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. After Jing Wu and the others arrived at the Dragon Phoenix Forest, they became cautious. They sensed the auras of many teams. Moreover, there were people secretly spying on them. Xia Zixio did not hesitate to attack. A sword finger landed on an inconspicuous place. The person hiding in the dark was discovered and quickly fled. If you want to join us, Jing Wu, we welcome you at any time. If anyone wants to attack us, please consider your own strength. I hope everyone will take care. Xia Zixio said loudly. His words were not only to recruit people, but also to warn others. Some of the weaker teams quietly left to avoid being targeted. Some of the stronger teams were fearless. There were also some rogue cultivators who were considering whether to join a team. We have less than a month to leave the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. We must hurry, Pan Xiaoxin said. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go. Yang Wu agreed. Who knew that, before they even moved, someone would come looking for trouble? Who is Yang Wu? Get the hell out here. A rough voice rang out in shock. A strong team appeared in front of Jing Wu and the others. They were all riding powerful mounts and carrying different high-level battle weapons. Their battle chi was extremely powerful. This team had 300 people, more than twice as many as Jing Wu's team. There were no less than 70 people who had Jade Tokens. This was a team with an extraordinary background. The person who spoke just now was a strong young man. He carried 2 truncheons and rode on a green bull demon. He glared at Jing Wu's team. When Jing Wu's people saw this team surrounding them, many of their expressions turned ugly. Their mood became much worse. Not only did the other party have more people than them, they were also more powerful. Once the battle started, they would not be able to handle it. Senior brother Yang Wu and the others are here for you. Why don't we block them for you? You go first. Qing Jing secretly transmitted to Yang Wu. She was not stupid enough to call out Yang Wu's name in front of everyone. It's okay. I will solve my problem. Yang Wu replied. At this time, Yang Karen also transmitted, Young Master, you go first. They have many people and are not easy to deal with. The Dragon Phoenix Abyss is right in front of me. How can I leave? Yang Wu sighed. He did not know why these people were here. If they were here for the bounty, then they were not enough. If they were here for the Jade Tokens, they should not be looking for him alone. He could not figure it out, so he decided not to think about it. He would find out soon anyway. I will say it again. Which one of you is Yang Wu? If you don't get out here, I will kill all of you. The young man riding the green bull shouted. Kill! The 300 people behind the young man shouted in unison. Waves of killing intent soared into the sky. The atmosphere was extremely shocking. Yang, Saint Master Yang Wu, you should go out and answer them. One of Jing Wu's geniuses was scared out of his wits. He could not help but look at Yang Wu and say. At this moment, Jing Wu's people glared at that genius angrily. This kind of traitor deserved to be killed. Lu San, what nonsense are you talking about? You traitor, get out of here immediately. Kill him. What's the use of keeping this kind of person alive? Jing Wu's people started to shout among themselves. A few of them surrounded the person who spoke to Yang Wu. That person also realized that he was in trouble. He turned and ran. Jing Wu's people joined forces and attacked that person. The guy called Lu San was quickly killed on the spot. No matter where they were, betrayers were the most unwelcome. They were allies and a team. Since they had formed an alliance, they would not allow betrayers to happen. Otherwise, they would be killed. Yang Wu was exposed. The young man riding the green bull locked his gaze on him. He sneered and said, "You are Yang Wu? Why don't you get out yourself? Are you scared out of your wits? A piece of trash like you actually dared to kill my brother Zetian. You don't put us, the Ming gang, in your eyes. Today, I will chop you into mincemeat. Fight or run?" Xia Zixio secretly asked Pan Xiaoxin. "Wait for Yang Wu to decide." Pan Xiaoxin replied. At this moment, Qing Jing said, "You are not allowed to bully senior brother Yang Wu. We will protect him together." Chapter 10:21. The Dragon Vein Phoenix Forest was an ancient mountain range that occupied a large area of the northern Hubei region. There were dozens of mountain ranges of different sizes that intersected with each other. Countless old trees intertwined with each other, and countless flowers and plants grew there. There were also many spirit demons and ferocious beasts living there. Looking from afar, one could only see an endless forest. When the wind blew, countless leaves would sway, as if they were waving to distant guests and welcoming them from all directions. Jingwu and his group arrived at the Dragon Vein Phoenix Forest. Before they could rush to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, they encountered trouble. The 300 people in front of them were strong and strong. They didn't look easy to deal with. There were many more people than Jingwu and his group. Their aura completely suppressed Jingwu and his group. Yang Wu had been betrayed. The other party had targeted him. They were here for Zetian's death. Zetian had been crushed to death by Yang Wu, and his jade token had been snatched away by Yang Wu. The 3 Xianming elders had been chased away by Yang Wu. He thought everything was fine. It turned out that they were waiting for him here. The 300 people in front of him called themselves the Ming Gang. The person who had spoken just now was one of the 4 great guardians of the Ming Gang, Green Bull Guardian Yo-Yo. He was ranked 270th on the predicted list. He was currently the highest ranked prodigy that Yang Wu and his group had encountered. Even Xia Zixio's ranking was lower than his. In fact, after Yang Wu defeated Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin, his ranking on the predicted list had reached 293rd. He had snatched Xia Zixio's position, and Xia Zixio's ranking had automatically slipped down. Those who could enter the top 500 on the predicted list were very authoritative. Although there were many variables, it also represented powerful strength. Niu Yang's ranking was 270th. Needless to say, he was ranked last among the 4 great guardians of the Ming Gang. There were 3 guardians ahead of him who were ranked higher than him. Among them, the gang leader's strength was at least in the top 100. It was even possible that he was the Dragon King who had entered the top 10. 2/3 of the people around Niu Yang were men, and 1/3 were women. They were all here for the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Zetian was Niu Yang's subordinate. They were all helping the Ming Gang to obtain more jade tokens so that more people could enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Who knew that Zetian would die first? He was a genius who had the chance to enter the top 1,000. When Niu Yang was targeting Yang Wu, Qing Jing, who had always stood aloof from worldly affairs, appeared. She opened her mouth to protect Yang Wu. The people of Jingwu were shocked. It turned out that it was not that this little nun did not fight, but that she would fight at certain times. For example, now that Yang Wu was threatened, her courage was very commendable. They couldn't help but wonder if this little nun was interested in Yang Wu. "Are you trying to bully us just because you have more people?" "I, Pan Xiaoxin, am not afraid. Whoever wants to hurt Yang Wu will have to go through us first." Pan Xiaoxin also stood out and shouted. Sherwin Mei was not willing to be left behind. She shouted, "Barbaric man, don't shout here. That makes you look very uncultured. If you have the ability, come at me. I'll kick you to death." "Young master is not someone you can hurt as you wish," Yang Karen said faintly while holding her pipa. All of a sudden, 4 beautiful women stood up for Yang Wu. Xia Zixio felt that his limelight as young master Xiao Yao had been completely stolen by Yang Wu. He cursed in his heart, "These vulgar women. He's just a young and handsome saint alchemist. Is he worth you all protecting him like this?" He looked at the 2 women beside him and felt even more unbalanced. He needed a vent, so he said to Niu Yang, We at Jingwu will not accept any threats. If you want to fight, let's fight. At this moment, the people of Jingwu felt that Xia Zixio was still very manly. Niu Yong really didn't think that these people in front of him would be so united. Moreover, there were so many beautiful women protecting Yongwu. He swept his gaze over everyone present, and a playful expression appeared on his face as he said, "Is a coward like Yongwu worthy of the protection of so many beautiful women? I feel that you should join our Ming gang. Entering the Dragon Phoenix Abyss together will be more secure. Our Ming gang has already gathered close to 1,000 people. We also have 3 protectors who are ranked in the top 200. The gang leader is an invincible expert ranked in the top 10. It is unwise for you to be our enemy. As for Yongwu's head, I will take it for sure. I will kill whoever tries to stop me." He then looked at Yongwu and said, "Yongwu, I will give you a chance. Kneel and accept your punishment. I will allow you to become a member of the Ming gang and spare your life. This is your only chance to live. Cherish it." Yongwu took a step forward and said faintly, "I feel that it is wisest for you to join our Jingwu now. Otherwise, you will have to bear the consequences." Yongwu did not have any domineering proclamations. He spoke calmly and his emotions were very stable. He did not look agitated or angry at all. The people of Jingwu were puzzled. When did Yongwu become so easy to talk to? They did not believe that Yongwu was someone who could swallow his anger. After Yongwu finished speaking, someone from the Ming gang laughed out loud. "What a good, take responsibility for the consequences. What kind of storm do you want to stir up with just a few people like you? What a joke. Hurry up and kneel and lick our protector Nio's boots. Following our protector Nio into the Dragon Phoenix Abyss is the wisest move. We must avenge Zetian. It is better to kill him and take his jade tablet. He probably thinks that he is a saint alchemist and can command the world." Niu Yong narrowed his eyes at Yongwu and said coldly, "You really won't cry until you see the coffin. Men, whoever cuts off his head will have his jade tablet." Suddenly, more than 10 people rushed out from behind him. Their target was Yongwu. These people were all prodigies who did not have jade tablets. They wanted to have a jade tablet to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. How could they let go of such a good opportunity? "Don't hurt senior brother Yongwu. Stop them," Qing Jing ordered decisively. In the next moment, someone from Jingwu made a move. The one who took the lead was Meizaheo. His strength was second only to Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin. He was not inferior to them. The people around him were also affected and made a move. This was the best opportunity to get on Yongwu's good side. If Yongwu was happy and refined 1 or 2 divine pills for them, they would be rich. After Meizaheo and the rest blocked the people from the Ming gang, Niu Yong shouted, "Since they want to die, let's help them. Kill them together and take their jade tablets. Looks like I, young Master Xiao Yao, am being looked down on by these small fries. I can't stand it." Xia Zixio roared and rushed towards the people from the Ming gang with the Xiao Yao steps. Xia Zixio had a ball of anger in his heart. He had to vent it. Pan Xiaoxin also wanted to perform well in front of Yongwu. She shouted, "Who dares to fight with me, Pan Xiaoxin?" Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin were both experts ranked within the top 500 of the predicted leaderboard. Moreover, they both came from major forces, so there were many people who recognized them. Following their shouts, many people noticed their existence, and they started to worry. However, this was a fight for the Dragon and Phoenix qualifications. No one cared so much. Moreover, the Ming gang had the advantage in numbers. They were not afraid of these 2 monsters. After Xia Zixio and Pan Xiaoxin made their move, the people from the martial tranquil sect also moved. They did not want to be trampled on. They might be able to win if they fought 1 against 2. Qing Jing drew her sword and said seriously, "You are not allowed to hurt senior brother Yongwu." A ray of light energy slashed out from the tip of her sword. It was like a flash of light that was hard to capture. A few people from the Ming gang who rushed forward had their armors cut open. These people were scared out of their wits. If Qing Jing's sword had been a little bit more off, they would have been killed. Qing Jing had obviously left them some leeway. She did not want to kill them. Otherwise, they would have died without a doubt. The people from the martial tranquil sect felt that Qing Jing's battle strength was extraordinary. They had a new understanding of Qing Jing. This little nun was not as simple as she looked. Under such circumstances, Yang Wu had no choice but to make a move. You guys are willing to stand up for me. Not bad. This is a true ally. Yang Wu let out a long sigh of satisfaction. He turned into a dragon and rushed towards the first person to attack him. He didn't seem to have done anything, but that person was directly sent flying by him. Pooh! Ow! How is this possible? That person felt as if he had been hit by a mountain. He spat out blood, and several bones in his body were broken. It was difficult for him to continue fighting. He was at the high level of the dragon transformation realm and cultivated the wind profound qi. His speed could be said to be unparalleled. He thought that Yang Wu did not notice his existence. However, he was defeated by Yang Wu in one move. Yang Wu's strength was extremely strong. Kill. The Ming gang had the advantage in numbers. A few people had locked onto Yang Wu because Yang Wu had many jade tokens. If they could take him down, they would have the qualifications to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. The number of jade tokens was limited. Even if they did not fight for it, no one would. One of them held two swords and slashed towards Yang Wu's head. The two swords carried the force of a thunderbolt. The power was extremely frightening. Another person wielded a golden rod and swung it at Yang Wu's waist. The dense, earthy, yellow, profound qi could destroy mountains and split the earth. Another person held a dagger and stabbed towards Yang Wu's heart. His speed was so fast that it was impossible to guard against. Even the weakest of these people was at the middle level of the dragon transformation realm. None of them were weaker than this. Niu Yong sat on the green bull and looked at the battle calmly. He smiled coldly and said to himself, Saint Yang Wu, a person like you is the person I, Niu Yong, respect the most. Unfortunately, you have offended someone you should not have offended. You are destined to lose the qualifications to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Moreover, you will be buried here. Niu Yong did not come here solely to avenge Zetian. Instead, he had received the order to kill Yang Wu. He had to kill Yang Wu here and not given the chance to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. This was his mission. However, when he saw Yang Wu's ferocious attack, he realized that he had underestimated Yang Wu. Yang Wu's battle strength could be said to be abnormal. So strong. Chapter 1022. Yang Wu had the sacred dragon physique. His body's potential had been pushed to the extreme. His strength was so powerful that it made people's hair stand on end. There weren't many people who understood Yang Wu. They had always thought that Yang Wu could at most compete with a half-step sage. It wasn't impossible for him to be killed. The few people who surrounded Yang Wu erupted with their strongest combat strength. They had to severely injure Yang Wu as soon as possible so that they could better take him down. Who knew that the attack they were so proud of was full of loopholes in Yang Wu's eyes? Yang Wu's afterimage flickered and appeared beside the person who attacked with the sword. He grabbed the person's arm and used him as a meat shield to smash him towards the others. The others were shocked. Their attacks were instantly messed up. Yang Wu began his personal performance. He directly tore off the arm of the person holding the sword. Dripping blood spurted out. He was in so much pain that he screamed like a pig being slaughtered. My hand, my hand. The man cried out. Yang Wu sent him flying with a kick. The next moment, he appeared behind another person and punched him in the back. The crisp sound of bone breaking was heard. The person flew far away like a kite with a broken string. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. The others came back to their senses and once again erupted with all their strength to kill Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't run away. The black tortoise armor on his body floated and produced a deflecting force. It directly deflected their attacks. Bang, bang. Yang Wu swept towards them. His attacks were as fast as lightning and as fierce as a tiger. They were beaten until their flesh and blood splattered everywhere. They screamed incessantly. You want to kill me, Yang Wu, with just this few people? What a joke. Yang Wu roared. He locked on Niu Yong and charged towards him. To catch bandits, first catch the ringleader. Everyone understood this principle. Yang Wu did not want Jing Wu's people to die for him. Niu Yong raised his eyebrows, and his fighting spirit surged. The green ox he was sitting on also cried out repeatedly, wanting to charge over impatiently. In the end, he held himself back. He shouted to the people beside him who had not made a move yet, "Join hands and take him down." The people around him were not weak. All of them had jade tokens and were on the prediction list. Moreover, they had reached the peak of the dragon transformation realm. These people didn't dare to be careless. Yang Wu's performance was very strong, and he wasn't weaker than them. If they fought one-on-one, they might be defeated. It was safer to work together. They were not far from the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, and they did not want any accidents to happen. In an instant, a colorful attack shrouded Yang Wu. The powerful lethality was so strong that even a saint would have to retreat. Yang Wu faced these attacks without any change in his expression. The black tortoise behind him was high-spirited, and the battle armor was suffused with layers of blue light. He looked like an immortal that had descended to the mortal world. He raised a simple fist and punched towards the attack. It was as if the black tortoise had broken out of the water. That imposing aura was extremely shocking. Rumble, rumble. Sounds of explosions rang out nonstop, and a lot of profound chi splashed out in all directions. The powerful shock waves shocked the surrounding people, and they all retreated. Many battles stopped as they looked at the shocking scene in front of them. The young man seemed to be riding on the black tortoise as he broke through the layers of stormy waves and rushed into the nine heavens. He was like an emperor looking down on the mortal world. The young man was like a dragon, shocking the world. This moment was the beginning of Yang Wu's fame in the transcendent world. Those heavens prides who attacked Yang Wu were pushed back by the powerful recoil. Some were even injured and vomited blood. They were glad that they had teamed up. If they hadn't teamed up, Yang Wu's punch could have killed any one of them. Niu Yong held the two truncheons and was ready to attack at any time. Yang Wu stood above, and his long, blue, profound wings extended. He looked down at the crowd and said, "If anyone from the Ming clan dares to attack again, I'll kill them without mercy. Get over here and accept your death. Who do you think you are? Do you really think you're invincible? I'll kill you." A person rushed out from Niu Yong's side. This was a young man with thick skin and looked very mature. His entire body was covered in layers of battle armor. This was the defensive power of the defensive cultivation art he cultivated. He would first establish himself in an invincible position before killing his enemies. This was his usual method of killing enemies. Soaring crash. This person's strength was unparalleled. He clenched his fists together and exploded with his full strength, forming the strength of a mountain range. He rushed in front of Yang Wu in an instant. There was also a formless gravity that affected Yang Wu's reaction speed. If Yang Wu's reaction was slower, this punch would be enough to kill him. This was the innate strength of this young man. He was just a nameless person who didn't even have a jade token. However, his strength made even Niu Yong suffer a lot. Therefore, Niu Yong kept it by his side and promised that he would get a jade token for him no matter what and enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss with him. It was because of Niu Yong's promise that he was willing to work for Niu Yong. "Beat him up." Niu Yong cheered for the young man and shouted loudly. The Ming clan's people also exclaimed, "Beat him up." The people of Jingwu all looked at this scene with a serious expression. The pressure of that punch was too strong, as if it could even destroy a star. It was comparable to the strength of a level 1-star Mark Realm cultivator. They just didn't know if Yang Wu could receive it. "Young master, you won't lose." Yang Karen cheered for Yang Wu. "Senior brother Yang Wu, you can do it." Qing Jing shouted. "Little brother Yang Wu, beat his balls." Sherwin Mei said incomparably valiantly. Mei Zihao thought in his heart, Saint Master Yang Wu receiving this move is not a problem. The key is, will he be injured? Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Yang Wu opened his palm and pressed down on the domineering fist force. In the next moment, the powerful fist was actually easily suppressed by Yang Wu. This was an attack that could destroy a star. They felt that their eyes were playing tricks on them. None of the people present had such an ability. Yang Wu's strength was beyond their imagination. "Explode!" Yang Wu shouted. He grabbed with his palm, and the power of that fist was directly shattered. The power of the backlash immediately landed on the young man's body. The skin and flesh of his arms cracked, and a lot of blood spurted out. He clenched his teeth and didn't cry out. His endurance was really extraordinary. However, Yang Wu's strength was much stronger than his. He couldn't endure for long. The bones in his arms were broken, and his body directly smashed into the ground, creating a crater. Yichang lost. How is this possible? Yichang's fighting strength is not inferior to Niu Yang's. How is this Yang Wu so strong? If we don't use all our strength, I'm afraid we won't be able to take down Yang Wu. Don't be afraid. Our main gang will become the #1 gang in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. We also have the gang leader and 3 great protectors. Yang Wu won't be able to cause any trouble. Young Master is indeed the best. Yang Karen cheered like a little fangirl. Man, this is a real man. I like it. Sherwin Mei said as she licked her jade lips. So what if you like him? Are you worthy of him? Only I am worthy of him. Pan Xiaoxin said proudly from the side. He doesn't like an old woman who pretends to be young. Sherwin Mei said sarcastically. Sherwin Mei, sooner or later I will tear your mouth apart. Can we talk properly now? Yang Wu continued to look down at the Ming gang and said, Yang Wu, I admit that you are very strong. However, do you think you can defeat us? Niu Yong said calmly. If you still have any tricks, then use them. Otherwise, you won't have a chance. Yang Wu said with narrowed eyes. Yang Wu, return our young master's life. Not far away, someone shouted in shock. Subsequently, a few figures flashed over swiftly. 3 of them were the 3 Xianming elders, and there were 2 other old fellows that were extremely old. Their gazes were like the eyes of eagles, and all of them possessed extraordinary strength. Sirs, I will leave this Yang Wu to you. Niu Yong said as he cupped his hands towards the other party after seeing them arrive. The older generation wouldn't interfere in the fight between the young people. Even if they wanted to interfere, they couldn't exceed the strength of the Celestial Mark realm. Otherwise, they would be mercilessly obliterated. The Xianming elders and the other 2 old fellows were clearly over the age limit. However, they hadn't surpassed the Celestial Mark realm. They were all in the semi-sage realm. The Xianming elders weren't a match for Yang Wu even if they joined hands. What ability did the other 2 semi-sage have? The semi-sage realm was also divided into levels. The Xianming elders were only at the initial stage of the semi-sage realm. However, the other 2 semi-sage had reached the peak of the semi-sage realm. They were half a step into the Celestial Mark realm. Their fighting strength was above the Xianming elders. This was the reason why they were confident in killing Yang Wu. Old Du, old Jian, I will leave this little bastard to you. Xianxin cupped his fist towards the 2 old fellows and said. Du Sha and Jian Yao were the 2 supreme guardian elders of the Purple Underworld sect. They didn't have much lifespan left. It would be very difficult for them to enter the Celestial Mark realm in their lifetime. Usually, they would stay in the Purple Underworld sect. However, they had come out of seclusion to avenge Zetian. It was because a big shot had spread the word that if they could kill Yang Wu, they could obtain celestial pills and break through to the Sage realm. This temptation was very big for them. They absolutely didn't want to let go of this opportunity. They wouldn't hesitate even if they had to risk their lives. If it was in the past, they wouldn't have come out for a mere celestial pill. Yang Wu was ranked in the top 1,000 on the wanted list. The reward was much more generous than this. He would certainly have the protection of a sage. It was impossible for them to take this reward. However, the situation was different now. The battle between the dragon and the phoenix didn't allow sage-level creatures to take action. This also meant that Yang Wu's protectors couldn't take action. Their opportunity had come. You actually invited these old fellows. Can you be any more shameless? Sherwin Mei scolded. Ba, this is a violation of the rules. You will be punished. Qing Jing also spoke up. We haven't entered the Celestial Mark realm yet. How is this a violation of the rules? His head is ours for sure. Those who don't have anything to do with this, scram. Du Sha said in a hoarse voice. Haha. As long as we can take his head, all the curses are nothing. Besides, we don't care about our reputation. Jian Yao licked his fingers and laughed. You 2 old farts. If you want to come, then come. Yang Wu said calmly. At this time, a voice came from not far away. "My lord, there is no need to dirty your hands. I will send these two old fellows to heaven.